to the second notch. That way it's not as loud. Okay, kid, let's go. And we'll get some fuckers up in this bitch, and then we're going to chat to them. We're going to say, hey. Hello.
Oh, wow. Broke them.
Why did Weiss give me this information?
Information's what you need.
This is intel, I say.
My name is Igear.
I say. Well, should I report it on video? Would that do anything for our analytics?
The best podcast.
We should start with that.
It ain't the best show.
Yep, you're holding it.
The mood is tense. All right. How's that, Weiss?
Mopar watch.
Bastard. Panda walk. Panda shit. Is there cooler in here?
Yep.
Nice. Look at that. We're ready. We're synced. We're good to go, bros. We're doing it.
I'm going to be over here in the corner. I don't want to be fully made.
I'm sitting by the Last Jedi poster so everybody can get real mad.
Captain Phasma.
Worst movie ever developed.
Second worst movie ever made, though.
Fucking movies were made. Yeah. All right, we're cool.
Learn.
Really cool. Try. Do it. Oh, you know what I forgot? Is to pull up the chat. So we can view it.
Terry!
Do you have your leader?
If my iPad wasn't nearly dead, I would just pop that up. Do you have a USB-C charger?
Is your iPad under the thing?
No, it's in my bag.
It's in the bungle. Bungle
Oh, you got
in the
yours.
jungle. Well, that's all right by me. God.
You got 26. You think it'll be good?
Oh, shit. That's like exactly what mine's at, too.
We'll double down, face our fears, move forward beyond.
I have no idea.
What's going on?
Mine only went down like 10% during the Patreon chat, so we should be good.
I have the mustard songs going next door.
Mustard?
Broadcast keeps
Monsters.
on getting interrupted.
Mustard man.
I don't think that's true. I'm looking at it right now.
I don't know. I don't know.
Does it?
That really helps. It's quieter.
There. How about that, fucks? Think about it next time.
Terry!
Knock my things.
What happened? What is this?
My mom!
The lid to the cooler.
Oh, yeah.
New intro. New intro, guys.
It sounds so...
My mom!
It's what is happening.
disruptive. It sounds so crazy.
It's when restocking shelves is...
Restocking the plastic shelves with the plastic items. Lord Kenny is there.
Oh my god, there's another Travis here. Not okay.
Is that done?
Yeah.
He's a bast. All right.
Balls deep.
Everything's prepared. Put your fucking mics on. We're gonna do this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, kids. Let's go.
Wow.
Idiots. That's my favorite kid of all time.
Hello, what have we here?
You guys are so funny.
Your headphones okay?
Hello.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Holy shit. Thanks C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there. What'd you say to me?
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Hey, what do you want to hide?
Hey, put him here.
Hey,
Put him
come
here.
on. Hey, you said something about it.
Everybody, hey.
Welcome to the show.
It's episode
200.
2000.
200.
So 200.
200, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We didn't think this would ever happen. Not to mention 14 years of it.
It's been 5.5 years.
A little over 5.5, actually.
So
Yeah,
nuts.
we're running on the rim.
5 and 7 months, maybe you might
Yeah,
say.
outer-
You might think about it.
Is there an interim?
It's a good question. Is there an interim?
And how would it pertain to, like, let's say a dog?
Shinobi, is there an interim?
Into a dog.
The taint.
We're
Do
not-
dogs have taints?
I believe.
Oh my god.
We are going old school today. We're just getting down and dirty with it.
That's going to be the title of the podcast, everybody.
Do dogs have taints?
Does the
Question
dogs have the taints?
Taintless or taint? What kind of dog do you have?
It's like the type of fur. That's a question you ask when you go to a breeder.
I have a short-haired taint.
mark? My god.
Good day, Galaxy Rogue Sponsored
Taintless
Podcast.
poodle.
I am Mopar.
I am Commander Cody.
We've got
Thomas' son.
Tommy Boy with us. It's just a huge celebration episode. Obviously, we just said
200.
episode 200. We like to have Tommy Boy on because
I think he's our most frequent guest.
I think, well, and
I mean, a
one of the
while
most
ago,
early,
yeah.
one of the earliest guests we've ever had on. So we want to just go throw it old school. We're just going to be belligerent today because fuck it.
Yeah. That's why you guys like us anyways, right?
Toss back. Not a
Throwing
throwback.
it back and then maybe
I don't-
Toss back.
it's on Thursday either.
I don't want to scare anybody in case they're not good at catching stuff. So I'm just gonna toss it back to you. You can handle it however you want.
Underhand, very casually.
Baton.
Unlike Danny DeVito in Always Sunny when he throws things overhand and the
Or-
keys go off the boat and down the drain.
Or Ricky in Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
When he's throwing out the trash, it's so violent. And he just tosses it over his trailer, and half the time he hits his trailer and it doesn't go anywhere. It's like, what are you doing?
We walked our trash bags to the dumpster once. I had one and Mrs. Commander had one. And she tried to throw it into the dumpster. And she literally threw it into the side. Like 100% horizontal. Just smashed right into the side of it. We both just started laughing. It's funny.
Oh, right here. Audio is cutting out from time to time.
Wow, that's going to happen on things.
Well, he's not drunk enough yet, so
Well,
get hammered, Travis.
I don't think so.
well, on the recordings,
Looks good
maybe
on our
live. I don't know.
0 dropped. Yep, 0, all of it. Hi.
Letting it vibe. So we're chilling in the studio tonight. So what's going on?
Oh, man. I'm
5.5
still behind on
years.
everything.
Still behind from day one.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to talk about? Let's just talk about the
5.5
90s
Totally out of the loop.
because I'm just now catching up on the 90s stuff.
Well, it's going to be great because what we usually do is just repeat ourselves and talk about the same thing every time. So that's going to be episode 200. That's the celebration. That's what it's doing.
Yeah. I had considered last night we were discussing like what topics we should be talking about, and I figured maybe we should touch upon maybe a handful of our favorite beers that we've reviewed.
Yep, I know one of the patrons was asking that shit too.
Also, maybe like within the past 5 years, what's our favorite like top 3 movies that have come out since we've recorded?
Yeah, I like it.
The patrons asked us a couple questions. Let's do those up front because they're pretty simple, pretty up front.
So while you're pulling that up for beer options, we're pre-gaming with some Land Grant Greenskeeper. And I got a couple things. We don't have to have all of them or, one of each maybe. Mm-hmm. But I got some of that high noon nonsense. So the inside joke is we're all addicted to White Claws now. So I got some seltzer vodka drink. We don't have to have it. And I got some new Wolf's Ridge because I wanted something local. Mm-hmm. And then I got some new Stone because we are always a fan of what Stone does. So those are brand new beers, I think.
Nice.
Welcome.
So we got some goodness tonight.
So a couple questions from the patrons. FedEx asked, 200 episodes in, wow, did you guys ever think you'd make 200 of these things when you started?
No.
So I guess this is that's the correct answer, but it's a tricky it's a tricky question because I think when we started, podcasts really hadn't caught on yet. Like Joe Rogan was still on like episode 90 when we started, so like even if
well,
I'd be
there's been big waves, and I think we started right in the middle between two of the big waves of like podcasting popularity. So Rogan was definitely, I think he probably had like 500 by then, because the reason I got hooked in the first place was somebody turned me on to Rogan's podcast, and I went through while I was working at that terrible office job that I hated and wanted to die at. I worked through the entire back catalog of all of his 3-hour episodes.
Wait, didn't you work
Before
for Geeks
we
and Gamers?
started. I did, yeah. Best company ever. rated triple F by the Business Bureau.
Triple X by the douchebag of Roms.
Vin Diesel runs the Better Business Bureau now. No, so it was in between. It was a little bit of a calm time in podcasting. It's gotten way more popular since then. I think it's starting to rain now, but it was a good time for us. I mean, I was learning everything. I didn't know anything about podcasting. We recorded the first episode, and I didn't know how to post it or where to post it or what to do. So we were kind of just figuring it out as we go, and it was fun.
So yeah, but 200, it was the question. Did you ever think we would make 200?
No.
Yeah, I never. Well, it's a two-part question. Up front, absolutely not. I mean, for the first year, I think we had 10 episodes the entire year.
Yeah.
So we didn't even know what we were doing. I think once we started rolling and once we got into like a weekly basis, because that took like a year and a half, 2 years for us to just get into a groove.
Yeah, because we didn't know what was going on.
And then find out our niche here. But once we started going, I still didn't think.
No.
No. To be honest, I thought we'd just run out of topics, run out of stuff, because when we started, Disney had just bought Star Wars, so
Right.
I didn't expect a movie every year.
It's true.
Right.
So I was like, okay, episode 7's gonna come out, and then we're gonna have 2 or 3 years, and then episode 8, and
So I guess we did get lucky in as far as the Star Wars universe goes for when we started,
yeah,
because like I was episode 10 or 15. They were starting to release like, some teasers for episode 7 and a couple stills, the Entertainment Weekly or the Variety or whatever magazine spread they always do. I think we were talking with Lord Kerner about that on his first episode, which was like 12, I think.
Yeah, the first teaser for episode 7 came out during like one of those episodes.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I was there.
No?
Sometimes people will be like, do you remember what you said on that one episode? I'm like, no,
I never remember those.
never.
I usually remember what episode number things were. Like Lord Kerner's first episode was 12. I know that. I don't know what we said or what we talked about, but I know it was episode 12. I know numbers for some reason. 12 parsecs.
Kerner, what'd you say on episode 12? Are you on?
14 parsec.
He was still like, Natalie Portman's ass is great. Oh, Jesus. So there's that answer for FedEx. And then we had Sean Richards, another patron. Over 200 episodes. What have you learned, if anything?
What have I learned? Ooh, video and live streaming is fucking annoying, and it takes a lot of programs and a lot of trial and error. The audio stuff was easy from day one. The video stuff is super annoying, and I think there's a little bit of cutout happening right now in our live stream for episode 200. So, as you can tell, it's still not 100% perfect.
I have not learned a single fuck. Not a single thing I try.
You've learned to not shave your beard. I think that's the most important.
So
lesson.
laziness is key. No, I think the only thing I've learned is like podcasting can become a grind, and even if we walk in here and we're not 100% wanting, like if we're not, sometimes we're just not in the mood, to sit here for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and grind stuff out.
Yeah.
But sometimes those are the best episodes because it gets weird, and you never know. You just really never know. So like just putting it out there.
Yeah.
I think there's some gold in that, and it somewhat takes us back to those early episodes because we just start rambling about stuff, kind of like we're doing today.
Yeah.
So this is a premium gold episode.
Queemium.
Queefium.
Yes.
Sounds like a Pokemon. Queefium, go! Use Stained.
Queefium, Queefyard.
Queefy.
I went for like Charizard for some reason for the end of it. Yeah, we've mentioned before, like we started
Queefstoys. We're done with that word.
Queefosaur.
Queefosaur. Jesus.
I might name the episode that actually. Episode 200, Queefosaur. We mentioned in an interview, and we've talked to a couple other people, that when we started this thing, we weren't even planning on doing Star Wars per se. We're just like, what are we going to talk about? And then it ended up being so timely with episode 7 coming out that it ended up just being mostly Star Wars, hence the name, hence why some episodes we only talk about Batman.
Yeah, and you guys talk about music a lot in the first
I hate
6 episodes or something like that.
I don't like
That's-
BT Bam or Metallica.
That's such a, and it's not like we haven't talked about music, but
Right.
that's such a topic that it's touchy. Like you can't bring any of the music up. You can't like really reference anything.
Even though
You
we
can't
did
even like
for a little
sing
bit.
along. Like you'll just get obliterated by the music globalists. But
Musical globalists. All right. What are the other questions that you had?
So what have we learned?
Absolutely fucking nothing.
We feel like we've gotten better with the stuff, but we haven't.
True. I've gotten more toys. They still have technical issues all the time. What's funny is, though, when I get hired to come and record for clients, everything goes fine. But whenever we have to do something, maybe I'm just get too hammered too early.
I guess the other ones aren't really questions. Like Dylan Peed on Instagram, who's been with us a long time. He was on like episode 20, not with us, but live. Watching. He said, "Can't believe it's been that long. I remember the beginning. Love you guys so much. Need to catch up at a Comic-Con sometime." So
yeah.
And then there was another feller. Happy to be along for the ride, and thank you both.
Thank you.
So it's a cool time, and
we got some shitheads. They enjoy us. They tolerate us.
We are some shitheads, or we got them.
They spend their bandwidth on our downloads, so we appreciate that. I think Sean Richards asked, what is our 2 favorite beers over the ones that we reviewed, since that's a staple of the show.
Jesus. Do you have a list?
No, I don't have a list, because he asked it earlier today, so I didn't have time to put anything together. I'm just trying to remember stuff just kind of off the top of my face. Yeah, Pilsner Raquel is one that we always bring up, that we love.
That was a surprising one.
The rain is going hard right now.
Yeah, it's
We're
raining.
On Camino.
Raining Gizka out there.
We are on Camino right now.
Which beer were you saying was good?
This one's good. I don't know.
We haven't
remember.
reviewed this, though, so just like what stands out, though. But what have we reviewed and you always get if you can find it? That's what I think of when I'm thinking like favorite beers.
Well, the issue is we've had so many beers over the years, whether we've reviewed it or not, I can't remember.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
like Sweetwater 420 is such a big staple.
Yeah.
I think we've done. Actually did Bell's Too Hearted, which is like one of my go-to. If I walk into a place and like they have a couple local ones that sound wonky and a Bell's, I'm like, fucking go with the Bell's. So Bell's Too Hearted might be one of my tops, and then
I'll say one that's kind of a cheat. When we had Alex on at Fancher for like the second beer extravaganza, he busted out the Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah.
That was really fucking good, and I remember after that I got it like 10 more times throughout the autumn that year.
Yep.
It's kind of a cheat because they redo the recipe and the partnership every year, but everyone I've had since then has been really good too. But that first year, I remember that was like 2015, I think. Oktoberfest was delicious. 2015? It's been that fucking long?
Yeah, it's already tomorrow.
Oh, Jesus, why are we old people?
So the audio seems to be having issues. I think it might be because of the weather. I disconnected from the Wi-Fi in case it's actually the Wi-Fi here. But
it might be that. I don't see why that would be passable.
So, so my 2 might be Bell's Too Hearted and Pilsner Raquel might be the cop-out. I do want to, because I know there's 3s out there that I'm like, why the fuck didn't I say that one? But those were 2 that like became staples.
Yeah.
That I didn't know about.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it still happens every autumn when Oktoberfest started to come out. I go for what the Sierra Nevada collaboration is that year. I always want to try that one. So.
Oh yeah, because that's the one that changes. Because that's the Oktoberfest with a K.
Oh yeah, I like the real Oktoberfest.
You know.
I drank it. I don't know if that qualifies me for knowing. I drank it, though.
No, but that's one of those that Oktoberfest isn't a style of beer. It's an event. Isn't that what we talked about last time, where it's more of a collaboration? It's not an actual...
Oh, well, yeah, because I think the beer is called a Marzen. Is that true? I make things up on the regular.
I think that's right, because...
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, isn't it?
I'm looking it up.
Worst beers of all time.
Oktoberfest Biaz.
I mean, whatever Geeks and Gamers likes is probably what I hate.
He's my favorite.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's a Marzen is the type of beer.
Okay.
So what you're saying is any Oktoberfest is a Marzen.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but it seems as if...
What are you looking up?
When somebody... This is Beer Advocate. When somebody... It says the category is Marzen / Oktoberfest. So people say Oktoberfest because of the clickbait, and it's actually a Marzen. So, breweries are trying to get that ad revenue. You see what I'm saying? Geeks and Gamers.
But clear winners locally. Land Grant, obviously. They make a lot of good stuff.
I was talking about this with a friend. Favorite brewery, beer versus location. I think Land Grant for me absolutely wins beer itself.
You mean like the pub,
Like
the
the
bar
scenario,
area?
yeah.
Gotcha.
Trogs in Pennsylvania.
But this is Ohio.
It was like a warehouse, and it was like you could sleep in there. They had day beds upstairs.
Nice.
They had night beds in basement.
Nice.
Nice. They had a dungeon.
Dungeon, cellar. You could sleep in the cellar with the beer. They add your name to the flavor profile of the beer. Aged
Yep.
with Mopar.
Yep. Meat pies. They sold meat pies in the loft.
God.
Did you say something about popcorn with them too?
So they had like butter and rosemary popcorn.
You see how I remember random shit?
Yeah, it was really good. Salty, pickled.
Oh, Kerner said pickled Santa.
Oh, pickled Santa. I remember that.
I think that
I was on for that one.
going back and drinking it again, I would probably say that it might not be the worst beer of all time.
It's probably one of the best beers.
But that's the one that we like latched onto as like the grossest thing ever, and have dragged through the mud for the past 5 years saying that pickled Santa's terrible.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that one and the one with the chili in it.
that was bad.
Oh yeah,
That was bad beer.
Yeah.
Did we have pickled Santa after we watched the Hobbit movie? When we shit on the Hobbit movie? You think we hate pickled Santa because we tied
the
it to
third
the
Hobbit
Hobbit?
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
we got
so.
back. We're like, this is the cringiest fuck I've ever seen.
God, that movie.
The rain's crazy.
You
It
guys
was
didn't like
crazy.
the Hobbit movie?
The third one?
I like the first. I like the first half of the first one.
Oh, the third one.
Third one
Yeah,
was
the third one.
terrible.
There's literally a close-up shot of every main character saying a war is coming. Like, it's...
Attack of the.
And what's his name? Dane is CGI.
CGI.
It
Remember that?
looks
We were so pissed
terrible.
about the giant dwarf king is
Yeah, it looked
CGI.
Mm-mm.
The whole movie's cringe.
I think I've seen it once. That's the one with Smaug.
Yes.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Which
of
that was
yeah.
actually a really fucking good performance. Mr.
Benedict Cumberbatch,
Benedict
yeah.
Cambercatch. Cambersnatch.
Strange.
Bandersnatch.
Kenguin.
Dr. Bandersnatch over there. Doing good as a dragon.
He's
Yeah.
pretty good at what he does. What does he do?
Good at everything. Acting.
He's good at everything.
What beverage do you want to drink right now?
What do you
thinking
have?
for the review? Well, as I said earlier in this episode, I have a high noon because we're girls now. I have a new Wolf's Ridge IPA for this summer, and I have a new Stone double IPA for this summer.
Oh.
You put that
Oh,
back.
double IPA.
Went right for the double, motherfucker. Give me that.
Movie Lions.
Fear Movie Lions is what it's called by Stone. It's a double IPA. Steve Kirk's pissed because we're
Can's
drinking
pretty sweet.
Stone again. Fuck you, Steven. We're
Right.
drinking Stone.
Hey!
Boom, boom, Stone beer. Where's my coaster?
So
at?
we busted out the cooler here, so we got some ice cold ones.
Yeah, I did get a cooler.
All right.
We went canoeing last week, and I got a cooler for the beer, and it's a mini one. And I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Oh, I'll use it for every single podcast episode.
Here.
Because one thing that I've talked about is my nonsensical reasoning for why beer tastes better when it's cooled in a cooler versus a fridge. And then I also don't want to have to go back to the fridge during an episode to grab beer. So this is the greatest solution of all time.
Didn't Alex give you crap for that when
Who's
on
Alex?
one of the wasn't that his name? The guy who did the beer stuff?
Oh no, he gave. What are you doing over there, Mopar?
Trying to open it up.
He gave us crap.
What's
Oh, she can see what's going on over here. No, Alex gave us crap for frosting the beers first.
That's right.
I think the consensus is you can put the mugs. Did I say frosting the beers first?
Frosting the glasses.
Frosting the
first,
glasses. You can put the mugs in a fridge, but if you
Yeah.
put them in the freezer, they get too cold, and when you pour the beer into it, it ruins the.
Because
It ruins the pour.
Going well, yeah, that's true.
Something like that. I can't remember.
It's like gelling. It gels it up because it hits the
He also
cold
got mad
glass.
about how much we loved the smell before we actually tasted it. We were just inhaled too much.
Let's smell about it.
So guys, chug it, please.
This one smells like a stone. Not like a physical rock. I'm saying a
I know what you
stone
mean.
brewery.
Smells like graphite.
They have like a similar stench from all their beers. The brewery.
Beerery.
Have you been to the Stone Brewery?
Yes.
I have
Twice.
not. Where is it?
It's
California,
in
isn't
Mendocino, which is outside of San Diego. It's a suburb of San Diego.
San Diego.
That's why Steve Kirk's so pissed, because I always talk about Stone. He's like, guys, there's like 200 breweries in San Diego, and you always talk about Stone. What the fuck?
Well, the other ones need to step the fuck up and ship some
Yeah, I was
stuff.
gonna say.
No, last
Also-
time I visited him, I did see some great local breweries in San Diego, but that doesn't take away from Stone. Stone's still great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
this
old
is
boy
so
Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah.
Jumping into the chat. Matt chat.
All right, so again, this is the
Cheers.
Stone called Fear Movie Lions Double IPA.
Oh, unfiltered.
200.
Check it. They're all unfiltered.
Cheers to everybody here. And
Cheers, everybody. 200 beach.
even if you guys are listening after the fact, cheers to you guys. We could be here without you because we don't give a fuck.
Woo, 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 woo.
Unfiltered is
That's
right.
actually-
Oh, man, you can definitely tell it's a double.
So that's something that I did learn. Bouncing
what'd you learn?
back to who was it that asked? Sean. Don't do a podcast for your followers. Do it for yourself.
Yeah, just like Metallica.
Do a podcast for Metallica, and you'll be good to go.
No, the same way they make
I know.
albums, you
I
fuck.
know. I hear you.
Yeah.
But I like Shinobi was saying like I don't know what I should do. He was considering doing his own podcast. And I
Right,
was
right.
like, whatever you do it for you.
Right.
Because if you're not doing it for you, you're gonna be bummed and not do it, and you're not gonna be passionate about it. So I was like, that's one thing that I had to learn. Like just
That's true.
Let's just chill, hang out, and if we're not having fun, then there's no point.
That's true. Yeah, because off of that, we've tried to change things up every once in a while. Like we tried to do like some blog articles for a couple months, like while we were doing podcasts.
Forgot we couldn't read.
That didn't really work. We've tried to implement new things, and they just don't feel right. So we gotta be able to upgrade when the time allows, but at the same time, like stay true to like why we started the show in the first place.
Yeah.
So like trying to get a site with a ton of traffic for blog posts and like make ad revenue clicks and stuff, like that just didn't matter. That was all fucking stupid.
Burp on mic.
Burp in
Make
the mic.
sure.
Swap the mic with your beer and forget how to talk. That's always good. That's best mic strategy of all time.
My calf itches.
All right. So all right. So what do we think about this nonsense?
I don't want to perceive your perception of the.
Let me show the
I'm
motherfuckers.
taking another second because I got Greenskeeper on my palate.
Lord Kerner says he's drinking a Sprite in celebration.
He's a bitch. It says here. It says here in the description that Stone also has a brewery in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's good to
So
know.
that makes sense. They probably have East versus West Coast, so they
Yep.
can ship more easily.
I heard they recently added more hops to it. So I'm not wowed by this. I don't know
Yeah, I
how
know
you
what
guys
I
are
would say.
feeling. This is a good, like, solid beer. Actually, is it? I'm not. I'm kind of
Yeah.
like on the fence, like in the middle.
Well, 0. So out of our rating system, 0 is probably the only thing that we would rate and say, yeah, fuck that. Even if we give it a 1, it doesn't mean anything bad about the beer or the brewery itself. So I'm leaning towards a 1 for this.
Yeah.
And for our rating system is 0 to 3. 3 is the best, 2 is great, 1's worth trying, 0 is why. So this is, I mean, a double IPA. You're
It's a
obviously
why.
you're obviously not going to sit down and fucking chug.
Right.
So that makes sense. And you know, Stone has been very public about trying random shit and experimenting and doing this and doing that. So they throw a bunch of shit against the wall and not everything sticks, and you drink it anyways. You drink the shit in a can.
Yeah. I wonder
So this is an
what
example of Stone shit.
I wonder what the brewing process is for them.
They
where
put
it-
mash in a thing and they heat it up and then they do the thing and then they add yeast. Whoa, the rain just stopped
so
like
weird.
instantly. Did anybody else hear that? The rain just quit.
That was crazy.
The beer gods are possessions. The Poseidon.
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 Bearden.
Kerner is an 8.5%
Mm-hmm.
standard double IPA.
Non-standard. It's unfiltered.
All right, Colonel. Jesus Christ. The fact that it's double makes it not standard. You need to change your vocab. Can we do a Clockwork Orange scenario on him? But instead of making him watch nice films, make him read a dictionary so he gets more words.
Read. Oh, we should do. Yeah, we'll make
Fire
him watch a
Isles
film.
open.
Yeah.
All the women have short hair
And all their clothes on.
and all their clothes on,
And they're just telling him new words.
and then just as he's doing it, there's a guy next to him that just goes
Average.
smoke show, but it's like a short-haired boy. Just to fuck with him.
Jesus.
There you go, Kerr. Have fun with that.
Special edition beer, standard. Oh. Welcome.
All right. Yeah, something a strong one.
I'm fine with a 1. Yeah, this is this
Yeah.
is okay.
We're trying. I mean, it must be new. They probably have a limited release. If you see a Stone, you haven't. You know, you've always had the staples with the Stone. You've always get the IPA or maybe the Delicious or the Tangerine. This is a new one, so fucking try it.
Yeah, I think the thing that's missing in this is malt. Like I'm not getting any malt. There's no thickness to it. It's just
That stone we reviewed, it was just like the white can with the silver. Not this one,
Oh,
obviously.
the the one that was like a monster can. It had like that
Yeah.
holographic shit on it.
Yeah, that beer was good.
Fuck, what was that called?
I don't remember.
I know what you're talking about. I think it only comes out in spring.
And the green and orange one, the juicy
Oh,
IPA or whatever.
Tangerine.
The
Yeah, that's
Tangerine
good one.
Express.
Tangerine, Mr. Wayne.
A tangerine. I had that in Vegas. Oh, I didn't talk about the beers I had in Vegas. Hang on, let me pull this up really quick.
Kerner, are you quoting Liar Liar right now? I love a good roast. No, probably are.
A couple in Vegas from Tenaya Creek Brewery. One in particular was called the Gypsy Fade IPA. Fucking delicious, dude.
Gypsy Fade.
Gypsy Fade. It was called. I had a couple others, but I was so drunk I forgot to check into Untapped, so I don't know what the names of them were. But good. It was good, man. It was like bites you, like the aftertaste kind of bites you, like it's so bitter, but it starts off nice and citrusy, and then it like kind of kicks you in the upper roof of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The upper roof, not the lower roof of your mouth. Rain's back. Fucking.
Aquaman is a
Ayo, Spider-Man.
AO precipitation.
Travis, what do you think about this beer?
Do you like this beer? One.
This beer, I'd give it a 1.
Yep.
I
Solid
felt like I
one.
was less of a fan than you guys, but then you guys spoke up, and I was like, oh.
I mean,
I'm not a
I
huge
wouldn't
fan.
give it a 0 for sure. Like, I'm obviously drinking it. I don't have a bad opinion. I'm just like, it's not the greatest thing ever.
It's not that it's like too strong. It's just
There's I when you
don't know.
said it was definitely a double, I was like, really? Because I'm not.
no. I thought you said that.
Oh,
I
s-
said it's definitely unfiltered, is what I said.
Oh, yeah. This is bland to me in most respects, especially it being a double and such high alcohol. It is kind of bland, which sometimes can be good, but
Especially for an IPA. Sometimes
Yeah.
they can get way too, like, forceful up front.
yeah,
Like, you
this
take
right.
an initial sip and it's like, fuck you, man.
ti-
Like, you feel personally attacked by it.
Hey there, bud.
The globalists. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, 1 star.
1 star.
Well, we got some others we can try if we want to later. Or we can just chill on this. Is it time to guess something? Or speculate on something? Or determine something?
Oh yeah, you guys gonna do that time mark in one of the movies or something?
Time code speculation. That's the name of the game. I called
Average date. It's about Tuesday.
What we're talking about here, of course, is guess
Not
the
exact
scene.
average.
We're gonna pick a Star Wars movie and a time, and we all have to guess what's going on at that time mark. Tommy boy, why
Oh,
don't you
shit.
give us 3 random numbers since you're a guest of the fucking show? Yeah.
3 random numbers.
Just
All
don't
right,
say 0 for the first one.
Actually, you could solo.
5, 6, 9.
All right, so 1 hour and 9 minutes into The Empire Strikes Back.
1 hour and 9 minutes.
Episode 5, 69 minutes. 1 hour 9.
Nice.
What is fucking happening on the screen?
69 minutes in to episode.
69. You see what I'm saying? Yoda and Luke on Dagobah, 69.
Is that where they're tonguing?
I think so. There's
I
something
think
familiar
so.
about this place. Yeah, because I came and banged this frog before in my dreams.
To become a strong Jedi, tongue me you must.
Oh my god.
Goes back to talking about the taint from earlier.
Oh Jesus.
Tongue punching my.
Travis, we missed it. Travis Dunn said 666.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
So
Well, too
episode
late.
5, 69 minutes in.
Sorry,
What
sorry,
scene
think
is
about it.
happening? This is a little segment called Guess the Scene.
Gress the stream.
Are we guessing too? Or
wow.
what
So
people
get in
say.
your guesses of those who
No,
are.
we're definitely the ones that guess.
Oh, okay, great.
I don't know if the listeners guess or not because they don't fucking say it.
So the people who are live with us can toss out their guesses.
All right, so
About just over halfway through.
I'm torn on this because we do this every fucking time. Does the Hoth battle last longer than we think or shorter than we think? Because I always do the opposite by accident.
I think it's shorter than we think.
Like, it's a long sequence.
I would say it goes till at least maybe 40 minutes in.
No.
I would say
You sure?
30.
I'd say at
Well,
most
because
30.
Luke gets lost. Han has to go get him. That takes what, like 10 minutes. And then
But the problem is if I think I want to say 30, I probably should be saying 45. I
But now the
always
fact,
have it fucking
but now the fact
backwards.
you're saying 45, it's probably 30.
It's like time travel.
You're never good at it.
I was never good at that either.
yeah, that's my guess. My guess was the Minox.
Oh, yes,
what
when they're,
fan-
when
yeah.
they're in the fucking thing.
I'm going to guess Vader is hiring the bounties.
Dark side vision with you. God, these are all good guesses. Kerner said Luke doing a handstand.
Yeah, the Vader thing is a good guess. Let's do one thing. This is the only this is the only lifeline, per se, that we have, is the length
long
of
the
the
movie?
entire movie. So episode 5, the special edition, is 2 hours 4.
Okay.
So we're 1 hour 9, so we're over halfway.
Because it's definitely pre-Cloud City. And I think Luke is definitely on Dagobah. And I think they're definitely in the asteroid at that point.
You
I'm
think
gonna
they're on
s-
the asteroid?
I'm going to say it's Luke's
Yeah.
first lesson with Yoda.
Wait, how does that work? So they leave.
Han Solo
They leave-
flies into a worm's mouth.
Yeah, but they leave that, and then the bounty hunters get hired.
No, I think they're in there.
Oh, that's a
and
good
then-
question.
Yeah, they're in there, and then when they get out, they go onto the ship, and that's when Boba Fett follows
No,
them,
no,
right?
no, no.
I think
no.
that's true. They lose him in the asteroid field, and then Vader's fed up and he hires the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was like
think
they
that's right.
they fly out of the wormhole and then fly right over the bridge. We lost them, and then they hire them. I don't remember. So I'm still sticking with it. They're hiring.
They're not on the they're not lashed onto the ship for that long.
I'm
are they?
guessing Bosk's feet, or that admiral like looks up.
All right. I'm guessing Luke's first lesson. I don't know what happens in his first lesson, so any lesson,
way off.
I'm gonna
Travis
claim
done already
yes.
checked.
For any lesson, I'm gonna claim yes. So, all right.
Get your guesses in. We're gonna bring up the movie.
What was it in hour 9?
Hour
One.
9, baby. Ha 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 ha! We're gonna get kicked off of fucking YouTube. Brr, 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 brr.
So how long does Hoth last?
All
here?
right, so we're 30. Luke's just crash landing on Hoth.
At 30? Wow.
Yeah, they're taking off of Hoth at like 36.
Shit.
Luke's in space at 36. So yeah, Travis, you're pretty close. 36, 34, 36 minutes. Luke's on Dagobah, 42. Scroll a little further.
Perfect point.
All right, so his first lesson is... Oh, so there's the Minox. We're at 59.
Oh, so we
Another
missed it.
10 minutes.
That's wrong.
Luke's first lesson's at like 101, so
I think
I'm off
Kerner's-
as well.
Oh,
Oh, the Dark Side Trees, 105.
That was it.
oh, you weren't way off then, Dunn.
This
oh,
is
Kerner
like
got it. Yeah.
Luke's... dude. I always should go with my gut. I almost said lifting the X-Wing. This is what's 109.
That is why you failed.
Luke is trying to lift the X-Wing and he fails, and Yoda's like, I'm a frog. I can lift that shit. Eat your fucking Cliff Bars. Do this, please.
So I think Kerner was the closest. Yeah.
Floating the rocks. Yeah.
We have a 1 minute grace period. For this thing, 1 minute in both directions is lifting the X-Wing. So, I should have went with my first freaking guess.
Go back, because I thought I saw mine just like 2 minutes before this. Let's see how close. Maybe I mistaked it.
No ship that small. Is a
See,
cloaking
that
device.
was gonna be my guess. Them flying over the bridge. Damn it! I should have just kept it with that. Zwong. They fly right over it, and then they're like they disappeared. Wow. Yeah.
The ship doesn't
15
appear on
seconds
Moscow.
away from the grace period.
15 seconds.
All right,
Oh,
so
from the
all
grace.
right, listen. The small ship's cloaking device thing. Would it make sense that the smaller ships would more likely have a cloaking device because it'd be easier to cloak?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm a cloaker.
Also, in the X-wing games, the only ships that can cloak are the small ships. I think. I don't know the rules.
God.
I forgot all the rules. I haven't played in a very long time.
Making a point here.
Making it happen. All right, so did you win or did you lose? Send in your requests. Mail only, please. Western Union. Send us $5 for shipping and handling.
Western
and we'll give you a prize.
Western Union. Bitcoin only. Travis Dunn said on the theatrical version was them coming out of the asteroid.
Yeah, so we are doing the special edition just because we started with that. I wanted to keep it consistent, even though the special edition is like... That is one thing.
I'm a midnight cloaker. Ah! Smoking.
Very nice.
That might be the
Very nice.
first fan title we've ever had. I like that as a
Midnight
as a
Cloaker?
midnight cloaker.
I thought I was going to say Queefosaurus, though.
Queefatron.
Queefalangus.
Jesus. So yeah, no one won.
I'm a cloaker.
Even if Kerner was close, he doesn't get it. His hair wasn't on point. Doesn't matter.
He used the wrong pomade. It wasn't water soluble. He ain't
Yep.
going to have it.
He didn't have the hydrogenous.
All right, let me text myself the title. What'd you say? Midnight
Hydrogenous.
Cloaker? I do like that. Han is a midnight cloaker.
Midnight cloaker.
All right, so now we got to do a parody video
I'm a cloaker.
starring Geeks and Gamers.
I'm a driver. I'm a flyer. I'm a crier.
Who's that artist again?
What is that?
Steve Miller. Steve
Steve Miller Band.
Yeah. I almost said John Cougar. I was like, nah,
John Mellencamp.
different guy. The Coog. The Coog. Yo, we still have to watch the HDCKYs, man.
We watched episode 2 last night on the YouTube.
CKY 2K?
Yeah.
We should watch 1, 3, and 4 all in one sitting.
My name's Brad. I'm 19. Well, I'll be 20. Ding!
So funny.
So if you guys aren't familiar, we actually probably quote this.
You're familiar. You're familiar.
We probably quote these a lot more often than we even perhaps. But the early Jackass movies were called CKY. If you guys are familiar with Bam Margera.
Like the
It's
soft
like
G that
it's
you
like
gave him.
Bam
Margera.
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 You said Jer. Margera. Like Jer.
Margera.
Margera.
Really?
Bam Margarine.
Bam
Bam Mangus.
Barbie Margera.
Barbie Mangus.
So, yeah, with those we grew up with
watch
that shit.
CKY.
CKY movies.
For sure. Maybe Friday. Yeah, maybe.
No,
Yeah, Lord Kerner. Yeah.
I think I'll be busy.
Should we do an
Oh,
early
yeah,
episode when Kerner's in town and do half of him as a guest?
You can take my place.
Kerner.
No, on Sunday, you fool. Booga Jinga.
Episode 201.
201.
Oh, so we watched Aquaman earlier. We watched Power Rangers last night. We watched
The original Power Rangers.
CKY 2 last night.
Great things.
We played Overwatch.
Nice.
I finally beat the Dragon Bananas on the rooftop of the church in Dark Souls.
Dragon
Gargoyles.
bananas.
Means the
The gargoyles.
Yes.
The the banana dragons.
Oh my God.
The banana having dragons.
Yeah, so that I don't get that game.
Still?
Mopar faced the Cabra Demon once today.
Did you help him at all, or are you giving him just advice?
No, he didn't. He doesn't really give me anything.
You
He
can't.
basically says, just don't go that way. So I
probably
go
gotta-
the other way and I die.
Well, he didn't know you could run until.
I didn't know
Oh,
you-
for real?
Yeah.
No one told me you can run. No one told me
You
you, can
gotta
become.
look at the messages.
Well,
in the-
I'm
I
also-
look at the messages.
You
I'm
didn't.
also
There's one that says
partially-
hold B to run.
Every time I want somebody to get into Dark Souls, I'm torn because I'm like, I kind of want to help you out so that you don't get pissed, so that you actually keep playing it.
Right.
But at the same time, like, you kind of have to suffer through it so you can understand
I
what Dark
agree.
Souls is, and then we can do multiplayer and fuck around and club people to death.
But it's like a key point of that game, like becoming human and like bringing someone else in, is 100%. I didn't know you become human. I was even in the menu and read humanity, and it was just like, oh, that's reverse hollowing, duh. And I'm like,
Right.
what the fuck is reverse hollowing?
Well,
Why are you asking me that?
You are hollow most of the time.
They didn't know.
You can reverse it. Did you watch
Yeah.
the cutscene?
What cutscene?
It opens with a cutscene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they explained that. Pretty sure. Maybe
Not sure about
I don't know.
that.
I never watched it.
Tells you how to do it, right? No, probably.
No, I don't know.
Did you read the
No
instructions?
controls.
I mean, the only reason to be human is to summon other people or get invaded. Like, I mean, other than that, there's not really. And your
If
item
you just-
discovery goes up or something.
If you just
that's
log
fine.
out of Xbox and play it, you won't have any summons. You won't get invaded. You'll just play the game single player all the way through.
Yeah, but there's people built into the game that help me.
They'll
Like,
still be there.
Yeah, so when I went up against the gargoyles, when I became human, I let this guy out of the cell at the bridge or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Night Solaire.
So he came out and whooped ass and helped me.
He
Yep.
shoots lightning bolts.
Yeah, he does.
He's like Jubilee. He's throwing firecrackers.
oh, bitches throwing firecrackers on top of the church.
Jubilee.
That's
Oh
such a
my
great
God.
video. I don't care if it's like potentially overrated. Like, it's such a great video.
What is?
The Juggernaut bitch.
Oh, it's not overrated. Who said that?
Well, it's one of those things. It's like been old now. It's
Those
been
are-
out for a long time.
No.
That's like an 04 video. That's like OG YouTube video. It's like David Blaine skits.
I mean, I
and
feel like it's not
muffins.
everyone's humor, though. To be
Muffins.
honest.
That's true.
It's definitely ours, but
It's the raunchiest, cussiest thing I've ever
Right.
heard. The whole rant that he goes on in the second one when he's underwater, he
Mesquite.
doesn't stop for like 30 seconds.
Mesquite, get the fuck out of here.
Oh shit, it's a shark from the deep blue sea. That's what eating Samuel Jackson, you motherfucker.
If you guys don't know, just search
Look it up.
Juggernaut bitch.
You know.
It should be My Way Productions is who made it, but
Geeks
they-
and Gamers parodied it. It was terrible.
it was a
Oh.
yeah. I do remember the dislike
Yeah,
Well,
I
it was,
disliked
it was
everything.
actually taken down for a while, wasn't it? And then it came back up like
Yeah, I think someone
5
did.
years ago or something.
Yeah.
Remember to unsubscribe from this video, please. Dislike it, and then report us to YouTube.
Hashtag most.
We'll delete our podcast off the internet.
Hold on.
I think it's at a point now on YouTube where if you just mention Alex Jones, you get kicked out.
Oh, dude, we're on YouTube right now.
Globalist Alex Jones. I just want to see if they'll kick us off. Because Rogan stopped doing live streams on purpose.
Wait, why?
I don't know the exact reason, but I think because if they mention anything particular while it's live streaming, they would just cut it. That's creepy.
That
It's
is
like some
creepy.
Soviet Union stuff.
Big Brother.
Well, I think there's like 3 Soviet Union,
Alex Jones.
USSR,
Flat Earth.
Kyrie Irving hat.
Communist.
Just
Nick Kerner. We're kicked off. Red listed from everything. Blacklisted from
Red
everything.
listed.
Sorry. I don't know why I said red listed.
red.
Did you read the list?
There's
Sorry, that's where we are.
So our friend Ethan just texted me and said, I need a kid-friendly podcast. And his daughter started saying shit while watching.
Fuck yeah, Elena. You better say shit. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Dad, you smell like shit.
That's your own fault then, Ethan. Don't blame us for that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're
We're
shitty.
making it happen.
Shit snacks.
Join 1 million moms. Get us kicked off.
What?
Nobody else? No? Okay.
What?
1 million moms?
Yeah, it's the group that tries to get shit taken off TV
Leap to our doom.
because they can't parent their kids and tell them
Oh.
to not watch stuff.
Yeah, isn't that funny, the whole parental advisory thing?
We were talking about that last
Right.
night. My parents blocked MTV when I was growing up.
Yeah,
I remember
we
that
were
you had
talking about that,
you
yeah.
had a censored Godsmack album. I
Yeah.
remember. And a censored, not Nickelback. I think Eric had a Nickelback album.
Yeah.
But you had a censored Godsmack album. I remember we drive into like the Menor pool and skate park. We listened to Godsmack and like every other word was just muted. Just like, what?
That's how they do it in the Mopar households. You gotta grow up later.
You know what's funny is like I feel like your parents are the most laid back, but they like I feel like they thought they had to be like strict about certain things for a certain period of time, and then once they realized that you already listened to all the Godsmack albums uncensored and fucked around and had 4 beers, they're just like, all right, we give up. Just come in the garage, hang out.
Well, the issue
Get us
was
beer, Travis.
the issue was they assumed I was going to be as bad as they were growing up.
Yeah,
My
that's
dad's
the
like,
fear, right?
What?
That's the fear for the parents. Like, I don't want them to turn out like me, having kids and being successful. That'd be terrible.
Having kids, being successful, feeding families,
That'd be awful. Making enough money to support everybody. That'd be terrible.
family vacation. Better not.
Having a bunch of cars. Nope.
Paying taxes. Oh, baby. Yeah, because I remember going through like my channels, going one channel at a time,
Yeah.
scrolling through. It would jump from 35 to 37, the numbers. And one day I wised up and said, "What the fuck is on channel 36?"
That's
So
a good memory, too. It was fucking channel 36.
So I typed in 36, and it came
and
up.
it did came up. It just wasn't
Yeah.
in the guide. Ooh.
Yeah, so they just took it out of the scrolling, but if you typed it in, it came up. So
I remember vividly that it was 36.
Yeah, it was 36, and Gorilla's Clint Eastwood came on, and I was like, "What is this? What I'm looking for?"
What am I doing today? 3-6. Christina Aguilera's midriff. That
Remember
was
that?
literally all you had to do.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a. I remember one night vividly. We were at Eric's, like playing Final Fantasy, watching CKY, whatever, and then we like got tired, turned on MTV. Jackass was on. That was great. Skating videos. That was great. And then it went to music videos, and it was like Clint Eastwood and like Sum 41 and Alien Ant Farm and
Dum bum ba da dum dum ba da dum dum.
that cover
dum
of,
dum.
yeah, it's so
Smooth
good.
Criminal, yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, that's funny.
It was a good time.
Christina Aguilera's midriff. I'm a genie in a bottle. Gotta have it on a Tuesday.
That came on randomly, and we were listening to lyrics, and my wife's like, "Kids shouldn't sing that song.
Why?
This is just 100% sex."
Gotta rub my clit the right way.
Said,
That's-
touch my vagina properly.
You gotta touch it properly. Gotta handle it correctly. Handle it.
God.
This has to end. Have we kicked off yet?
Have we been blocked?
I'm trying to do this for publicity only. I want to get kicked off. Let's go to YouTube corporate. Just be like, hey, guys, how's it going?
I don't know.
What is Phantom Finn saying?
I don't know.
He's poetic now. Poetry?
Is that how you spell anemic, or is he drunk?
I think that is how you spell anemic.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
Maybe it's like a scientific way, but
Anemic.
I don't know.
Anemic. So what Star Wars stuff has happened? Anything?
Recently, we had the Comic-Con stuff, which was some publishing news, new comics and new books coming out. What are you doing with the armrests? What was the other? There was some big news that we decided not to talk about last week. What was that? Do you remember?
Nope.
The Kylo Ren book. Was that it?
There's a Kylo Ren book?
You were the one that was sharing that with the group chat. You fucking drunk.
Wasn't it something with Snoke or no?
It was like, all right, maybe it wasn't a book. Maybe it was a run of comics.
Oh.
Kylo Ren and the Rise of Kylo Ren.
Knights of Ren was what it was called.
Something like that.
See, when you start backtracking.
Yeah.
You announced the video game, well, it's a book. Well, it's a comic series, and it's also not called that.
Well, I got the franchise right.
I got the franchise.
That's all that matters, honestly.
7. Yeah, I'm excited for that, but it hasn't come out.
There are some new comic books that have come out. The Age of Republic and Rebellion are over. Age of Resistance is out, and I think there's like 4 or 6 that are out now, and I'm behind on everything.
Yeah.
When I say I'm behind on everything, I haven't seen Spider-Man yet. I'm behind on everything.
It's so good.
I haven't
Everything.
seen Lion King. I haven't seen Toy Story. I haven't seen Aladdin. I haven't seen Spider-Man. I haven't seen Shazam. I haven't caught up on Star Wars comics. I haven't read Alphabet Squadron. I literally have been behind on everything. You guys look like gophers popping up out of the ground.
No, I thought the rains all of a sudden stopped again, but
Oh, there's
it's
a
still
gate
going.
running. So once the rain gets below a certain volume level, it will
okay.
sound like it just cuts off.
Gotcha. I still need to see Shazam 2. It's at the top of my queue on
Shazam 2's out already?
Netflix DVD.
Dad jokes, everybody. You should start a podcast called Dad Jokes and just make dad jokes. Every episode is like 3 seconds long.
You have to download
It's
it.
one
Entire
joke.
episode.
It's one joke. Recorded in the highest possible quality ever. Every episode is like 1 gigabyte. Like lossless FLAC files for like 3-second jokes. Sorry. I'm off the rails.
Why'd the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants?
So he didn't shave his nuts.
Because he might get a hole in one.
Oh, man.
Download next episode.
Please subscribe.
Please.
Tell your friends about this video. Please tell your friends about this.
Shazam was boring, Travis Dunn says.
Travis, you're boring, Travis.
Oh my god. I'm very interested to see where DC goes from here. The new Wonder Woman movie, I hope, is dope. Looks
Well, obviously, Marvel's fucked. Phase 4 over here.
We did talk about that last week.
You did talk about
I was
it? Yeah.
happy with it, yeah.
Yeah, I have no interest to see any of it.
I mean, a lot of it is TV shows, but
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, Doctor Strange, the next one, I can't wait for. They said it's gonna be their first horror movie, and I love horror movies, so that's gonna be awesome.
I mean, the Thor thing, sure. Doctor Strange, sure. Outside of that, I'm like, I don't even. What was the one called? It's just Movie Plus or something. It was like a
Disney
one word.
Plus?
It was like, it was like the one word one.
What if?
What if?
What? Yeah,
It's 2 words.
Yeah.
that one.
Well, I was at trivia last week at Hound Dogs, and
God, I want some Hound Dogs.
one of the there's 5 questions per category. One of the categories was Marvel Phase 4, and they showed pictures from comics, and we had to guess which new Phase 4 thing it was. And for What If, it was like Spider-Man with the Punisher logo with like Venom's arms and tongue or something like that. It was ridiculous, and nobody could guess what it was. And it was like, what if? It's like, oh, so I think it's like, what if?
What if Peter Parker became the Punisher?
Right,
And then
like
got the
those
Venom
like
virus?
a bunch of different things, which it could be interesting. I mean, we'll see.
Can we talk about? I'm kind of sad about the Netflix Marvel series. Like, I wish they could have found a way to implement them. I like the
Yeah.
Punisher a lot. And as cheesy as Iron Fist was half the time it was fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish they would have found a way to just kind of incorporate them. And everybody loves the Daredevil series, especially the actor. Like, if they could just incorporate those into like actual MCU stuff. For
I mean, I
Disney
know
Plus.
those series started a while ago, but really not that long ago. Like, you think they could have foresaw this and just not done them and waited, you know?
Yeah.
But I think they just wanted to crank out the Defenders or whatever before canceling it all.
Yeah, I mean, it's half cringe. The
Right.
Netflix Marvel stuff is 50% cringe. but it's 50% great. And comic stuff is like 70% cringe. So they did better than the source material.
When do you think it's going to end?
Captain America's gonna
The Marvel stuff?
lift the world.
The superhero hype.
I don't think it will, to be honest. I think there's plenty of things they can do. Because we saw what Tim Burton's version of Batman was. We saw what Joel Schumacher's was, and we all fucking hated it. And then we saw Christopher Nolan's version, and then we saw there's plenty of different versions you can do for each
They just keep going.
superhero. They can just keep going.
Yeah. What do you think, Mopar?
I don't know. They're just. I want something fresh. Nothing's new anymore.
That's what Marvel's trying to do, but you just shat all over their entire press conference. They're bringing you Shang Tsung and the fucking 100 Rings. That's fresh.
Sonic?
Yeah.
Shang Tsung.
Asian Sonic.
Asian Sonic.
Black Widow origin story. Hawkeye series. WandaVision, that's the cringiest one.
Wait, let me get
That
this
is.
straight. So you're saying it's fresh and new because they're using people and characters that they've already used before? That's how fresh and new it is?
I'm saying they feel
they've never done Shang-Chi.
they feel comfortable enough to go out on a limb. That's why it's Doctor Strange in a fucking horror movie. Shang-Chi.
So I'm pretty sure Shang-Chi
WandaVision.
is like an LGBT Asian superhero. Like, so it's just like they're going.
Great. Geeks and Gamers is going to have a fucking field day with that one.
A field day? What does that saying even mean?
SJW.
What does that even mean?
This video is brought to you by
Field
Geeks
day.
and Gamers.
Did you never have field days?
What's his
in
name?
school?
Jeremy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was always one. On the scooter race.
1 year old, or you won the field day?
I said one, like I won the game, but I held up the number one. Yeah, I always won. The day.
I thought you said I was always one.
I'm pretty sure the saying is just they're gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I feel like they have the liberty to go out on a limb now.
That's how Liberty dies.
But it is. I will
With
jump to
thunderous
Mopar's
applause.
side for a second, just because it is. It was like 10 years leading up to this ridiculous
Don't you
Infinity
defend
War saga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you think that, oh, that's the end. So that's why they waited so long to announce Phase 4. Because after Endgame, we were like, okay, there's gonna be Spider-Man, and then what? Like,
We always knew there was something else coming.
I mean, they said Doctor Strange 2, yeah, it's probably happening. They said Black Panther 2, yeah,
Guardians
it's probably
3.
happening, which I'm surprised they didn't actually announce Black Panther 2 as part of the Phase 4, but
Guardians 3. James Gunn's
Guardians
back.
3, yeah, after he does Suicide Squad, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Suicide Squad reboot.
DC's just so fucking random. What show did they cancel recently?
DC?
They just announced the show and then canceled it like 6 months later.
Well, they were trying to do it on their own streaming device. I think it was,
Or maybe that was
League
it.
of
Maybe
Tomorrow
they
or something
canceled
like
the
that.
whole streaming service, didn't they?
possible.
I don't remember what happened.
I don't know who would subscribe to just a DC streaming service. Sorry if anyone in the chat has subscribed to a DC stream.
I mean,
streaming
DC
service.
sucks, so if you're listening to this,
Sweeney, are you
why
on?
do you like DC?
Um,
Batman
Oh
is the
my
only thing that
God.
matters, and that doesn't count. That's
Un-
DC.
Unconfirmed.
I
I'm just
remember.
kidding.
I remember when we saw Justice League, and the one part that stood out to me was just the cameo the Green Lantern had, and then everything else was terrible. We just need a good Green Lantern movie.
Give me the Snyder Cut!
Yeah, we will not see that until Justice League 2 possibly happens.
What?
The
Green Lantern?
Snyder cut of
Oh.
Justice League.
The no mustache one or the mustache one?
Oh my god, we were talking about that today too. That was so ridiculous. Like the fact that for Mission Impossible he had it in his contract to keep his mustache. It's like there are fake mustaches that look pretty fucking real.
That is
Nick
so
Offerman
random.
wore one for every episode of Parks and Rec. I'm pretty sure
That
and
is
it looked
so
pretty real.
random.
So
It's
dumb.
almost. It's
And
almost.
also forcing them to remove it. Like, I have to remove this mustache. That's also so random.
Yeah.
Who cares if he grows a mustache?
Yeah, he grew a full fucking beard while he was in the grave. Who cares? He looks cooler that way.
Yeah.
He would have looked cooler that way.
They probably
I
didn't
don't
want to go
like
for
Superman.
Have either of you guys ever seen Superman 3? Probably not.
Mm-mm.
So they create like an evil Superman, and he just gets like drunk, and that's why he's evil because it's such a terrible movie.
Hell yeah.
But the way you can tell them apart is that he has like his 5
Love
o'clock
it.
shadow, and it looks
I
like
like
he's
that
just a
Superman
drunk
better.
ass.
That's how you know he's the
Yeah.
bad one. Unshaven.
Yeah, that's how you know that because they fight each other. It's like Clark Kent fights the evil
How'd they
Superman
do
in the
that back
junkyard.
then?
It's that scene is the only good scene in that entire movie. Actually, it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But
Unshaven.
yeah. They
Bleached
probably didn't want
asshole.
people to think about that. Bleached asshole.
That's how you know
I
they're
have a
evil.
bleached asshole.
Blast my nips. Sorry, I'm all about Always Sunny lately. Apologize. That's one of the most
so
quoted
good.
shows in our household. What's the most quoted show in your household?
We quote Skyrim a lot. We do.
It's not a show, but I love that. I love that.
That's good.
Yeah. Always Sunny is the show that we watch the most, but I would say we probably quote that the most.
We also quote Trailer Park Boys, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A lot.
I mean, Mrs. Commander hates that show.
It's a pretty good kitty right
She
there.
just hates some shows for some reason. Just doesn't jive.
I think Pat and I quote Oblivion the most. Fun.
Dude, those
Bye.
Oblivion skits by the Favor Brothers or whatever. Favre
That
Brothers.
was hilarious.
So
Yes.
funny.
A Jude Paul.
Oblivion's good.
I was hoping Glass Armor was going to play some this weekend, but
Wait, I didn't text you and Pat about this because I didn't want to talk over text about this.
oh yeah.
You guys think Oblivion's better than Skyrim?
I think overall, if we're breaking down like every single possible aspect of the game, I do like Oblivion better. Like the only thing I don't like better is just kind of like the controls and the leveling up system. But other than that, I just enjoy the atmosphere, the sound, I mean, I like the score for both, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's nostalgia because that's the first Elder Scrolls game I ever played. But
Yeah.
There was some stuff in there right away that I was like, wait, you can't do this? Like, it was like a simple thing.
In Oblivion or Skyrim?
You couldn't do it in Oblivion, but it was like a
Did you play Skyrim first?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to do. It's hard to go backwards.
I mean, honestly, if you could save like after you get your shouts, your first shout or whatever, like you could in Oblivion when you exit the sewers, if you could save there when you get your first shout and be like, if you want to edit anything, then I would probably love Skyrim more. But the fact that every time I start, I feel like I have to go through all of it, and I don't want to just pick up a character I played like 3 years ago. That's another thing for me.
Just save it right before, right there.
Wait, don't they
you?
give you that option?
I
Before
do
you
save it
leave
right
that
before
town?
that. Yeah, but you still have to go through the half hour of the getting away from the dragon thing.
Yeah,
and then you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
go to Bleak Falls Barrow, and then you have to go fight the first dragon, and then you finally get your first dragon soul / shout.
Oh, yeah.
And then the dragons start popping up, and so it's
Bleak
just
Falls Barrow.
yeah.
Come with me, prisoner, if you want to live. Who are you?
But God, it's been so long. We need to come out with a new one.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They had the title on a screen at E3.
And they are still
Last.
continuously updating Skyrim. They have added shit
Did you hear about this?
constantly.
Glass Armor was playing like 2 weeks ago, and like the water effects, like there's actual like waves that crash up against the. And she was like, "I have no mods on whatsoever. It's all just updates that
That's
Bethesda's
sweet.
done."
I'm
So it kinda
torn
makes me wanna play
because
it
like
again.
I always want to play it, but I always don't want to go through the beginning.
Yeah,
And I
that's
always
amazing.
feel like I end up just making the same character every single time. I'm like, the magic is so cool in Skyrim. I always want to be a mage, and I feel like I just always make a mage, maybe a stealth mage,
Conjuration.
Yeah,
maybe
stealth is
maybe
what I always do.
what's the one where you can like fuck with their minds? Illusion. Maybe an illusion mage, but it's always a mage every
I've never
time, and
done
then I
that,
got to do the
actually.
archmage and everything. It's like
I've never done an illusion mage. I kind
it's
of want to
fun,
do that
dude.
now.
I did a stealth and illusion focus in conjuration.
Alteration.
So I would cast like frenzy at a group.
Right.
I would sneak, cast frenzy. They would all fucking try to kill each other.
That's good, yeah.
While they were killing each other, I would just snipe them with a bound bow, and then I would cast like a flame atronach.
I want to play this right now.
The bound bow is so good.
Butterclone, you listening?
I remember.
Playing Elder Scrolls right
I remember it was actually Andy that had the bound bow first in our group on that first initial Skyrim weekend.
now. Right. We were like, dude, what is that? He's like, it's a bound bow.
So strong.
It was pretty dope, yeah.
God, that weekend was the best time of my lifetime.
I
I'm
wasn't
sure
there.
the listeners have heard that story a million
They probably
times.
have. I'm gonna tell my child when they're like 8, like, son, you want to know the best day of my life? When I was born, Dad? Nah, back
No,
in
fuck
2011, my buddies and I played Skyrim for 70 hours in 4 days.
70 hours in 2 days.
How many TVs? Was it 5 TVs ended up being in there, or was it 4?
I think it was 4.
So it was
You,
me,
Pat,
you,
and
Pat,
Andy.
and Andy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Andy just like came back home and was just like,
I'm gonna
hey,
go
about
get
Skyrim.
this. Oh, best weekend ever, man. Yep.
That was crazy shit.
I still go back. I play the shit out of that game.
I want to. I really do. Maybe when winter hits, I'll play.
They
Or
add
autumn hits.
They add so much.
That's good. That's the lifeblood of a game is them keeping it alive. I mean, it's been 8 years. In November, it'll be 8 years since it came out.
8 days.
The fact that it's that popular still is it's a feat, man. It's good. I just hope Elder Scrolls 6 comes out fucking soon. The soonest it will possibly come out is next holiday.
What games do we have coming out?
I have no fucking clue.
Fallen Order is the only one that I'm really excited about.
No fucking idea, man.
Fallen Order, duh.
That's the only one that's coming out this year, I think, that I'm excited about.
Now I officially feel old because first of all, I've never been in a loop, but at least I'll hear something from like friends
Never
about.
been in a loop.
Never. But now like games come out, and I don't even hear about it, and then like 3-4 months later, people will be like Apex Legends. I'm like, never heard of that. And it'll be out for like 6 months already.
Yeah, my roommate, Cat Zach in the Hat on Mixer, if you're listening, he's like freaking addicted to, and he's awesome at Apex. He usually comes in like second squad or first squad a lot in Apex.
Yeah,
it looks awesome. It looks like kind of like Fortnite mixed without the building, mixed with Overwatch. It looks pretty good. I've never actually turned it on.
Yeah, so it's the Titanfall engine, which I loved Titanfall.
Yeah, which
so,
he always is like, you play Titanfall? I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've ranted and raved about that, but yeah. See, I like chaotic games. Oh, like all those games are chaotic, but like Battlefield 5, their Firestorm one, there's solo, so it's every man for himself. You don't have a team or anything, so you literally like average.
I can see you being good at that because of the way you play Battlefield 4.
Yeah, so I like average. I'd be like top 10. I've won several times, and been number one. But sometimes you'll drop in, and before you can even get to a gun, you'll get cut in half.
Maynard's dancing out there.
Cut in half pretty bad. Dewey!
Cyberpunk is coming out 2077 or something like that. It's by the company that made, or the guys that made Witcher. Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, it comes out next year.
See, Witcher's another game that I haven't played. Gods of War is another game I haven't played.
Oh, God of War, yeah.
God of War,
one's apparently really good. I bought it, but I haven't actually played it.
Glass
Assassin's
Armor.
Creed Odyssey is apparently really good too.
Because I don't
played
have
that.
a motherfucking PlayStation.
Glass Armor got through God of War, and she loved it. So
Oh, she did? Played
Yeah.
the newest one?
yeah,
Oh, fuck.
God of War 4 or something.
It's just called God of War. Yeah, it's with like him and the kid.
Yeah,
Yeah. God, I need to play that.
it's a goofy one.
I actually need to play Sekiro. That game pissed me off. It's the timing is so much different than Dark Souls, so
Yeah.
it's very difficult for
I did not get very far
Dark
in that
Souls
game.
enthusiasts. Yeah.
Is there a goofy movie game?
This should be.
Is there?
I was watching
Hi,
a
Dad
video about how The Lion King is like one of the hardest games ever made.
Oh my god, I used to play that game all the time, and then I got to the one level. I think it's called like Simba's Destiny or something like that, and or Simba's Exile. That's what it was. Terrible, because even just jumping from like this ledge to this ledge, you would like just miss it unless you got to the very edge, and then you would make it. It was so stupid.
That's part of that like Mario jumping, because at some point,
tortured us back then.
like if you're running, you have to wait till that last half second to jump to make it to the other end.
Right.
Savages, man.
I mean, that's why I like Dark Souls, because it kind of makes you get to know the map and makes you get to know how to play, because it doesn't hold your hand like Elder Scrolls does.
I do like
Even though I
that.
love Elder Scrolls as well.
Totally different type of game.
See, I always had difficulty. I think I've always said this. The Jurassic Park game for Sega and
Dude.
SNES. I was
Wait, the first one?
atrocious. Yeah, I think so.
There were
It's like
two
an
of
overhead
them.
view.
There's a side scroller.
It's side scroller.
Side scroller is the second
Your character is
one.
like this big, because obviously the dinosaurs are. But yeah.
Wait, the side scroller is the second one though, right?
No, that was
No,
the first one.
it's the first one. You're thinking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The first one was an overhead view, and then the second one was a side scroller.
There were two Jurassic Park games for
Yeah.
Genesis. One was called Extreme Park or something. I forget what it was called, but no, the
let's
first
look the
one
fuck
was
up.
like your Dr. Grant or whatever.
I'm gonna look it up.
Dude, Dunn commented right at 2112. That's
Shut
awesome.
up, Dunn.
Why
bitch.
would you?
I don't like him.
The trees are pissed beyond recognition.
Jurassic Park for SNES.
How many letters were that? That's the one. Jurassic Park. It's just called Jurassic Park. Told you.
Listen,
I
Yeah,
told
but
you.
There's definitely another one though. I'm with.
See, that's the
Cleaner on
Sega
this
one. It's the same one.
Yeah, so this one I never played. If you're watching this video right now, it's like an
I don't know
overhead
what that
view.
is.
I don't know what that is either.
That's the first one.
That's the Super Nintendo one. The Sega one is the one that we're talking about.
Okay.
So the Genesis and the Super Nintendo stuff was
We're right because
like
they did that.
simultaneous.
Wait, what do you mean?
They're the same.
No, they're not. If you look up Aladdin Genesis and Aladdin SNES,
This is the second one that I played.
So that's the one that I played too.
That's not the one I remember.
Oh, maybe it was part 2.
The first one, the one I remember is when you start out with you just have like this taser kind of thing, and you have to beat the fucking compies that are this big.
Yeah.
When you're this big, and it's
Like,
so annoying.
Part 2 makes no sense compared to the game at all, or compared to the movie at all.
T-Rex.
Like
Carnage,
you're
is
literally
that what it's
just
called?
different people, and you're running around shooting all the dinosaurs.
See the one
And
that
there's giant mosquitoes and everything.
the one that I remember, you actually played as a
that one
dinosaur
either.
too.
Yeah, I don't remember that
one.
at all. That might have been the first one, man. I don't know.
I barely got into it. I remember renting it and being pissed.
Look at the eyebrows next to him.
It's ridiculous. Wow. No, I do remember playing. Here is the cartridge, Jurassic Park Part 2, with Bronson. We would sit in the basement and play Super Mario World, Jurassic Park 2, Yoshi's Island. Like we couldn't beat those fucking games, man. It took
Yoshi's
forever.
Island is so good.
It is one
you
of
know
the
how
best
many
games
games-
ever.
Music and everything in
It
that
is
game
one of the
was
best
so
games
good.
of all
I've
time.
I've probably completed less than 20 games in my life.
Officially beat.
Officially, like Skyrim, you don't ever beat, but
I would say definitely less than 20. Yeah, it might be even more pathetic than that for me. Like 10.
like I know I've beat the first Mario. I know I've beat like Sonic 2,
You never beat the first Sonic?
Skyrim, Fallout 4. I don't particularly remember
You
beating.
beat Fallout 4?
Oh fuck yeah, I beat the
Oh,
hell
I
out of
never,
that.
I never beat Fallout 4.
I beat GoldenEye on Secret Agent. Never beat it on Double O Agent.
Oh my god.
I don't think I ever beat that. Contra, beat Contra.
I can't believe my dad beat that on Double O Agent.
I beat Contra with the code.
I've beat it without it. I think once.
I haven't.
Because you basically you can't get hit ever.
Batman Returns.
On
I
what? You can't get hit on what?
Contra, it's a one-hit kill and there's
Oh,
only 3 lives and there's
right.
just everything flying.
Yeah, that's crazy.
beat forever. Good luck. Fuck you. Ooh. Uchicha.
What other games?
Like, have you actually beaten?
I'm trying to think, man.
I've technically beat Oblivion and Skyrim.
I got beaten a lot. A lot more. I feel like I'm more addicted to video
Let's
games
go to our
than you guys.
Xbox.
I've beat Pokemon. Like Pokemon Red, I beat that.
I beat that 100 times.
Cheat code. You got to go to the side of the Cinnabar or whatever.
Yeah, missing no.
Missing number.
Missing number. Oh my god. You got to talk to the dude in Viridian City and then.
That was
fly
our
to the
Patreon welcome
islands. Yeah, I remember
image
that.
for a long time.
Missing number?
A wild patron appeared. And it
A
was
wild
just
patron.
missing no.
Just missing no.
Because we don't know who the fuck they are until they say something.
Right.
There's got to be other NES games that I've beat because that's what I had.
That's true.
Yeah, top thing for me was Super Nintendo. All right, we're going to go back to the goddamn browser here real quick, friends.
Yeah, browse it up.
See,
Browse it.
if I've beaten every Zelda game, for me, that's alone like 10. So, I mean,
All right, top NES games first. We'll just scroll through this. Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3.
Beat the first one.
Yeah.
I'll be the
never
first
beat
and the third one.
Zelda,
I've never
No, not the
beat
NES
Zelda.
one. No.
not the OG. Kirby, Dr. Mario, Donkey
No,
Kong,
no.
Tetris. You can't beat Tetris.
Right.
How fucked is that back then? You can't beat this game. Have fun. Keep going. Give us more money. Duck Hunt, Kirby's Adventure. Is there a Metroid for the OG?
There is a Metroid.
Contra,
for the,
Simon's
Metroid
Quest.
was hard.
Is there a Final Fantasy back then too,
There
right?
it is.
Double Dragon, Galaga.
Well, there's like Off Road is a racing game, but technically you can be first and win like the championship. So I
Yeah.
guess that would be beating the game.
Yeah.
I mean, so many NES games
Yoshi.
are so hard though because you don't.
Castlevania. I don't know.
SNES for me. I actually don't know if I ever beat Super Mario World.
I did.
I don't know if I
Link to the
did.
Past also.
See,
I never played that Zelda game.
All the Donkey Kong countries.
Donkey Kong Country 2 was
Have-
mine. I beat that. I beat Yoshi's Island.
Have you guys
Yoshi's
ever?
Island,
Did you
yeah.
guys ever beat Mario 3 for NES?
I don't think I ever did.
I don't know if I ever did too, because I would always whistle to the last world, but I'm not sure I ever beat that last world.
It's so hard. I
Star
will say I
Fox.
only beat it.
I
Oh,
wa-
Super Mario RPG is so good.
People
That's
beat
the OG Star Fox, though.
yeah, but people beat N64 Star Fox.
Yeah, but this is Super Nintendo
The
Star
Super
Fox.
Nintendo one was much harder in my opinion.
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger, good shit.
Doom. Mortal Kombat 2, never. I think I beat
So hard.
the easy mode of Mortal Kombat 1 on Game Boy. Because the Game Boy was the
On
first
Game-
console I had, actually. The OG gray Game Boy. So I had Tetris, I had Mortal Kombat, I had...
Didn't that thing take 8 batteries? Or
no,
was
it took, just took
batteries?
4.
Just
But
4?
back then, 4 AA's was a fucking lot.
Right.
What was the Zelda game for that Game Boy?
Link's
Awakening, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that fucking game is so hard.
I beat
They're coming out with a remake for that this year.
I saw that.
I beat Turtles 2.
Yeah.
The side scroller one. I beat that before.
NBA Jam.
Turtles 2, is that the one that's supposed to be super hard?
Yes.
Where you're in the sewers and you have to go to the breathers every time?
Oh.
Or is that the first one?
No, that's the first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That
'cause
one's impossible.
One, yeah, that one my babysitter had, and it was a.
I watched a guy do a speed run of the first Turtles. God, did it piss me off? Because you have to use.
Made it look?
What? Oh
Is that
yeah.
how easy made it look?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
God.
each turtle had a special like Leo. His attack was real close, but it was quick, so you can kill a lot in front of you. Donatello's was a real wide, so he could reach a lot further, but it was really slow.
Yeah.
And then like Mikey was quick. There was just like there were certain people that you had to use. So fucking ass.
Why'd you say so fucking ass?
For Ethan's kid.
Yeah, hello, Ethan.
Yep.
Mario
Mario 64. I beat that.
N64 games. Mario, I think I beat the quest. I didn't get all 120 stars, actually.
So my Xbox, like Halo, we
We're
beat.
talking about
Halo
Mario.
2, we beat. Yeah, sorry, I jumped. Go ahead. Because I wasn't
Oh, you
famous.
didn't have N64.
I wasn't famous enough to have
Ocarina
a.
of
But I
Time
feel
is
like
the
you
first Zelda I
beat
played.
them on DNRs in 64 anyways. Though.
No.
Mario Kart, GoldenEye. I beat GoldenEye on Secret Agent.
My dad spent all the time to beat it on. It was ridiculous.
Kyle and I.
He spent
got
almost a year
so
on the
far.
control level.
Yeah, it was the control. It
It's
was
so
the one
hard.
that
Aztec.
Train is fucking hard too. Train and
Train is
Control
hard.
are the ones. And
Yep.
Control, you're up to Natalia to hurry up and hack the thing, get out
Yeah.
of the way. Like it's so impossible.
Got
man.
AI on N64, yeah.
Crazy.
Mario Kart.
Star Fox.
Star Fox 64.
I did beat
good
Star
shit.
Fox. That took a long time.
Donkey Kong 64 is apparently really hard. I've never actually played it.
Yeah, all the Donkey Kongs are kind of fun.
Zelda.
Banjo-Kazooie, good shit. Majora's Mask, that's my favorite.
Ocarina, yeah, I definitely beat that. Perfect Dark, I never did. I never got too into Perfect Dark actually.
DNR were in it.
Paper Mario, I beat that.
Banjo.
1080 snowboarding.
Banjo 2, yeah, I never played. Jet Force Gemini was actually a decent game, I thought.
I beat Banjo K once.
Jet Force Gemini.
Yeah.
Is that a racing game?
Star Wars Rouge
No,
Squadron.
you're like these little, like, humanoids that, like, shoot alien bugs or something like that. It's
oh,
weird.
dude, I did have
It's
a
like
WWF
Starship Troopers
game.
for kids.
I did have a fucking WWF game for N64.
No, DNR had WrestleMania 2000.
Yep, that was it. Oh yeah, and that's when Pro Skater came out too, man. We had Pro Skater 1 for N64.
Turok. We played a lot of Turok too.
Man, that's crazy.
Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
I would love to go. Oh, and this OG Spider-Man game for PS1. Did you ever play that?
Mm-mm.
It was so good.
I never had a PlayStation. Why are you
Spider-Man-
making fun of me?
Spider-Man
sorry.
2 is apparently what started the whole open world thing, really.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
So that's one where you could climb to the top of the Empire State Building and just jump off.
Spider-Man 2. Let's find out.
That doesn't have.
There it is.
No.
Spider-Man 2 video game.
2004.
Oh, it's PlayStation 2.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. But no, that original one for PlayStation 1 was pretty impressive, actually.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
It's pretty impressive.
I mean, I didn't have any PlayStation until 2008 or something, so.
All right, what's the next gen? Top games? Xbox? And GameCube?
Dreamcast.
Let's give me some
Oh
other
my
bullshit.
God.
Original Xbox top games. Sorry, I got to type in original. I can't type by Xbox One.
KOTOR. I've beat KOTOR. Woohoo!
Silent Hill 2, good shit.
Black, I never beat. Halo, we beat 14 times.
I've beat Halo and Halo 2.
Yep.
I never beat it.
Beat KOTOR.
I never beat San Andreas. I did beat KOTOR.
Fusion Frenzy's a versus game.
Dude, San Andreas, the final mission is ridiculous. You're like chasing this fire truck with the police dude on it.
What is
Ultimate
the red
Alliance.
one to the left there?
Cars.
Oh no, to the left would be the other way.
Jet Set Radio.
That's the one that's the game that came with the Xbox.
Are you serious?
Jet Set Radio, the first one was with the N64, I think.
Yeah,
Jet Force Gemini?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
it was like a rollerblading game.
That I got my... Oh, I didn't have an OG Xbox for a
God,
while.
it felt
did
like
I?
Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City came out like boom, boom, like one right after the other.
Yeah. Morrowind, never played back then. I tried to play Tom Clancy's.
How do you play Scarface? Just you soak up all the cocaines?
Pretty much.
I remember when that game type became popular because they made a Godfather game or something like that. where you
Republic
were-
Commando.
I beat that.
Republic Commando was so hard, dude. The super battle droids in Republic Commando are insane. They're insanely overpowered.
I've beat the Jedi Knight games.
Tony Hawk
So
4.
now that I'm thinking about it, all the Jedi Knight games and adding in Halo, I've probably beat. Well, I guess I'm right at about 20.
Have you beat all the Jedi Knight games?
Because
there's
Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Knight Academy,
Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy.
Outcast I've beat.
Is Dark Forces the first one?
Dark Forces I have not beat. So the first one's the only one I haven't beat.
Of course, the oldest one's the hardest one. GTA 5, so now we're on the Xbox 360. Minecraft, Black Ops, all the Call of Duties, basically, all the good ones.
I beat Fallout 3 as well.
Fallout 3, yeah, I did.
I played the shit out of that. I'm pretty sure I have every achievement for it.
I never beat the Halo 3, actually.
I can't think that I have either.
Oblivion and Skyrim, done. Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and 3, and World at War and Ghost and all the other shit.
Portal 2, that's such a good game.
Borderlands 1 and 2, Forza 2 and 3 and Horizon.
Now I did beat the Dark Asylum or the Batman
Oh, Arkham Asylum.
Yeah,
Arkham Asylum. I did beat that.
Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
I don't think I ever beat Battlefield 4.
Oh, the campaign?
Yeah.
I don't know if I count the campaigns that much in shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefront. I played probably like 120 hours in that game. Like, fuck the campaign.
Arkham City, man. When I first played that, my mind was blown.
It was so good. I do want to go back and play that. I have the Return to 1 and 2 downloaded on my Xbox, ready to go.
The flow of those games are so cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
Dark
Watch
Souls.
Dogs, Minecraft, Dark Souls. I beat Dark Souls 1 and 3.
You never beat 2?
I never played 2.
2 is very different. Well, not very different. It's quite different combat-wise. So a lot of people can't get into it.
So it's better?
No.
There's a small sect of fans, the same type of people that would hate the sequel trilogy and love the OG, that think Dark Souls 2 is the best thing ever to happen. And they think you're a
There's plenty of
pussy
people that think
bitch
it's
if you
the
play
worst
1 and
thing.
3.
I beat all the Mass Effects. That's another 3 right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, why didn't those pop up?
I want to talk about this, but I can't because I haven't played or looked at any Mass Effect information for a long time. But like, I feel like the ending wasn't that controversial and bad. I mean, it was controversial.
Of Mass Effect 3?
Yeah, but it wasn't like, I feel like it wasn't that bad.
I thought it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I remember you brought it up last night or 2 nights ago or something like that.
Like the culmination of 3 trilogies.
I had no problem with it. I
3
don't know what
parts of
people
one
were
trilogy.
expecting. Like, were you really expecting for there to be like 8 different endings with completely different cutscenes on this game? Like, I don't know what people were expecting. Like, really?
I just didn't want holographic child Anakin running everything. That's all. That's all I wanted.
That's what you said.
All I wanted was not what they did.
Yeah, like they could have done anything else. Like another species or another race comes in. It's just like we're toying with all you fuckers, and you're all below us. And
That's what happened.
Like, was it?
The Reapers
The
were
Reapers.
another species that came in and toyed with
I
everybody.
know, but the little kid was the one that was controlling all of them. That's how it
No.
ends.
The little kid was a
The little kid was a
representation
like an embodiment of the Reapers controlling the system of, like, the cycle of life, basically.
of- Right.
What?
So
They
that's why
just
your
made him
ending
a little-
choices. Yeah.
You know how you see a little kid at the very beginning of Mass Effect?
Yeah,
3?
yeah, and he gets
They
killed.
They made him, like, they turned themselves into a VI of a little kid to relate to Shepard. That was just like a computer program, but it was still the Reapers talking about everything.
Because
It
they
was still
saw
them.
Didn't they see Shepard as like an adversary essentially because of
so.
how amazing
Basically
he
a
was?
god.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Lord
serious.
Shepard.
I know.
Yeah.
Like 100 years in the future, like,
Right.
Shepard is a god.
I mean, I will say people's anger. Yeah, see, he's saying that Mass Effect is great except for the last 20 minutes of 3. I mean, I get people's anger with the ending literally just being 3 different color filters for the same cutscene, essentially. But, I mean, I didn't really have a huge problem with it. It really didn't bug me as much as everyone else.
I guess maybe I don't know.
But also,
I'd have to
didn't
play through it again.
the original ending leak, and so they changed it because it leaked? Isn't that what happened?
I don't remember, but I kind of want to say yes. So Travis Dunn is here saying that everyone was mad because all the decisions that you made throughout the trilogy didn't actually end up for the end result. I would say, like, yeah, technically, but that doesn't really matter because they did have an effect on the entire trilogy that you just played.
Yeah.
Like, they had an effect on how you interacted with new characters and
Right,
got
but those
party members and everything.
But those choices in the grand scheme of things, aka the entire obliteration of all organic life in
that
the
happens
universe,
every 50,000 years.
Right, exactly. Like, does it really matter?
Also a huge mindfuck because I've been reading a lot about ancient history and the Great Flood and all this shit with Graham Hancock, and civilization kind of does destroy itself by accident and repeat itself every 50,000 years. So Mass Effect is probably my favorite game of all time. Because of that. I actually might throw up number 1 and fucking pick up my character. I was going to go back through and play the whole trilogy. And I got close to the end of the first one with a character that I was actually really liked and was really fucking good. So I might pick that up and try to cut through the whole thing.
300
of my
hours.
life. Yeah, but you enjoyed all of it until the last 20 minutes, so that's pretty good 300 hours.
I mean, I remember getting all the achievements for 1 before 2 came out, so I
Yeah.
played a shit ton of. Mass
Even
Effect
if you
1.
do everything perfectly, it still takes like 3 playthroughs to get all the achievements on the first
Right.
one.
Yeah, because you have to be with the different
Yeah.
partners or whatever for the majority.
Also,
of the
you
game.
have
It's
to unlock
ridiculous.
that difficulty mode just to play it.
Yeah, that's true. God, the hype for Mass Effect 2 was ridiculous.
I remember I visited Dan in Denver, and he had one day that he had to teach, and I was going to be by myself all day. And I brought my Xbox with me on the plane to Denver and played Mass Effect.
So you can play.
all fucking day. Just drank Denver beer and played Mass Effect all day long.
Oh my gosh,
That's how addicted I was to Mass Effect back then.
sounds like a good day.
You know, it took me a while to get into 2, though. It was something where
I do
I
remember
had a
that.
lull after the first one. I had a lull when I got the first one. I was like, this is fucked.
Well, I remember the first
I
time you
couldn't
played Mass
fucking
Effect
play
2.
it.
Because you still had the old TV that wasn't HD,
Yeah.
and the text looked like super tiny.
Yeah, they took a jump in the...
Yeah. Oh my god.
I remember that
first-
because that was the same time that I saw Avatar on your... You got an HD TV and we were all like...
You mean an HD TV that was as big as this
Yeah,
iPad?
this is like 14 inches. We're all just like, whoa,
That thing
future.
cost. God, that thing cost like
crazy, right?
$400 for that little thing.
It's so crazy.
And I bought it so I could play BioShock on my 360.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
The second one, Mass Effect, is when they introduced the quick dialogue, good and bad guy, right?
Oh,
Like the reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the reactions, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, in 2, the big thing was, at least for gameplay, was you could arc your powers over things.
That was so awesome.
That was, first of all, fucking sweet to see, but also very functional because, like, if
The
somebody
combat
was
in that game,
so good.
yeah,
So good.
so good. That last mission, I don't remember ever being that like fucking amped up about the last mission in Mass Effect 2.
There's no word for that reaction.
Wait,
okay?
when
'Cause
you're
those
fighting
choices
this,
actually matter.
When you're
on
fighting the
collector
skeleton?
ship. What?
when you're fighting the skeleton
No.
Mass Effect 2?
The whole final mission.
of 3?
2.
Oh,
Just in general.
The very last boss, yes, it's the giant Terminator, but I mean,
Yeah, Terminator in his
but
arms.
there are actually choices where if you choose a wrong character to do something,
oh yeah,
then
yeah,
they
yeah,
actually die.
yeah.
Yeah.
Miranda,
How about
I-
that, Travis Dunn?
See, I consulted with Commander during that and said, okay, what exactly do I have to do? And we did it. And Miranda still got pissed at me and died at the end.
I remember that. I was so confused.
Well, because there's one cutscene before the final ending where you have to choose Jack's side or Miranda's side, and if you choose Jack's side, Miranda will hate you, and if you choose Miranda's side, Jack will hate you. So one of them is gonna be not
Pissed.
right. So you have to be very careful about who you take with you to the final battle,
Right.
or else
Well,
they'll die.
The issue was I had a tough conversation with Miranda, and she wouldn't talk to me beyond that. And
Yep.
for her to live, I had to like convince her to do something or continue out a storyline, and she would not. Oh, I always banged Liara. Some of them slimy. Double.
I thought it was fucking ridiculous. You could bang Tali in the third one.
Wasn't that?
Yeah, because
on
she'd
one
like
of
try
the-
to kill herself.
Yeah, she's like, I'll die if I take the suit off. Like, give me that D, baby. I
Yeah,
want it.
I'm dying for dicking.
Wasn't that one of your earlier episodes where you said "fuck that Asari bitch" or something like that? That was like one of the very early episodes.
I don't remember. That is
Oh
sorry,
my
bitch.
God.
That there was always tough decisions.
There was probably Pat that said that.
Here's an ass crack.
I was gonna say-
Do you want to save this species? Well, Let me consider this
The
for a second.
specimen right here has everything you need.
I will say, if we're comparing the end of Mass Effect 3 to the end of Mass Effect 2, it is a stark contrast between having your choices actually matter of who lives and who dies in the end of 2, and then end of 3 it doesn't really.
The end of 1 was one of my favorites. Running
story
up
in
the
1 is
Citadel.
That's true.
Scenario
Holy shit.
wise, yeah.
That's true.
But
That's true.
consequences wise, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running up the Citadel to get to Saren inside the council chamber. You're like,
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's funny about 2 though, because I always felt that the 2 is very hard focus on the action and like less so the story. But that is
Right.
the one that perhaps your decisions and the story has the biggest effect because
'Cause the-
people will die while you're trying to get into the
Well, because the
collector base.
replay of 2 is kind of obnoxious, in my opinion, because you have to get everyone, then you have to do all their loyalty missions, and it just feels kind of repetitive-ish. I don't know.
absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, to do this in a decent way, I have to do all this extra shit to make sure I get enough points so they all don't die. What the fuck?
Right.
Who gives a shit? Because none of these goddamn fuckers are in the third one. Who gives a shit other than Miranda's fat ass? Like, I don't really give a shit about the rest of them.
And
What
you
is
can
the
al-
other? What's a grunt, dude? Grunt?
Yeah.
Who cares?
You can only take 2 people with you on the final mission anyways. And then you get to the point where you're just by yourself.
Right.
So just get 2 people that you really like. Obviously it's Garrus and Rex.
Garrus Miranda.
Sorry. Forgot about that.
My handle.
Garrus and my handle.
Peaches.
Peaches and cream.
My handle
Slapping
Lawson.
cheeks.
Miranda handle. Miranda the handle Lawson.
Sassoon expert.
The Tally scene was awesome. You mean when you have sex with Tally? Is that what you're talking about?
The nude ability.
Travis, you're fucking crazy.
The nude ability was...
The ability of this
Any
alien.
bigger than...
Jesus.
Woo, woo, woo.
God, I forgot about Tally. She
I
has to
never
wear the
used
mask all
her.
the
Zora and
time.
Araya.
Garrus was my go-to.
Her hacking was pretty awesome.
It always
for the
depended
second
on
one.
my character.
See, I always tried to mix it up where it would be like Garrus and...
Rex.
I almost never used Rex. Because I was the brute. So I would be like Garrus and Liara. So she would throw him,
Rex.
he would tech it, and I'd be shooting balls.
Shepard.
Shepard.
Well, because in the first one, it would show you how much biotic ability they have, how much combat ability, and how much tech ability. So I would do the same thing. I would just even it out.
Bird. Shepard.
'Cause that's how I got all the achievements or whatever. But yeah.
All right, Mass Effect Squad 1.
We should have asked Drew Karpyshyn who got the okay on like the bosom sizes.
Well, I think Drew has a bust of Miranda's ass
My
on his desk. It's just like, fuck that. No, it's just that crease
The crease.
on the digital butt.
It's like on like universities, like they have a good luck, like a bald head to rub. He just
Yeah,
has
yeah,
Miranda's
yeah.
ass, and clearly like the one cheek has been rubbed for good luck.
With her best quote from the game, too. Most inspirational thing you could ever think of. And just like, it's just a bust of her cheeks. Having them cheeks.
Having them.
Did they ask Drew Karpyshyn to help with the
On a mission.
the KOTOR movie?
On a
that's coming
suspicion?
out? Or do we not know yet?
I don't-
KOTOR movie.
I don't think so.
Yeah, remember that?
Oh,
They-
yeah.
Yeah, someone. Yeah. Fucking
Probably
First
not.
of all, it's an Old Republic movie. It's not a KOTOR movie, so they could go
Oh,
any
I thought
which
they
way.
did say KOTOR movie.
No, it's Old
Some
Republic.
sites did take the original message and make clickbait articles about it to make ad money, like fucking Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, fuck you can Geeks and Gamers.
Confirmed.
Guaranteed, Drew
Geeks and Gamers
Karpyshyn writes
confirmed.
script for KOTOR movie planned for fall 2020.
God, Old Republic movie. It's gonna be fucking dope. Sorry, it better be fucking dope. is
Who
what I
was
said.
the sly motherfucker in the second Mass Effect
Geeks and
sniper?
Zaid, the Australian guy.
Yeah, Zaid.
The alien?
The dude with the scar across his eye.
Thane.
Oh, Thane.
Thane.
Yes.
Yeah, Thane's dope. That was in the third one, the multiplayer. That's what I always
The guy
played
who's
as. Is
dying?
that what's the race name for Thane? I can't remember.
I can.
Or the species.
No.
Jehovah's
Drell, it
Witness.
is. Yeah.
I always
Jehovah's
played
Witness,
the
yeah.
Drell Adept, which had lift, reeve, and a grenade, and then I always used a sniper rifle.
Who was the Geth that you had?
Oh, the
Legion.
engineer, man.
Legion.
Legion.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were still talking about multiplayer.
What'd you say?
My bad.
Mass Effect multiplayer. I don't think I've ever played a multiplayer that's. I would say Overwatch is similar because you're all working together, but God, Mass Effect multiplayer is so good.
Shepard?
We were super into that for.
It was good because there
8
is
months or
something
something.
fun. Like, there is a great thing about PvP. Fantastic. But there's such a fun thing about the horde mentality.
Yeah.
Which we got, we were obsessed with zombies back in the day.
Right.
Like, there was such a fun fucking thing about Nazi zombies. I can't exactly
The
explain
waves.
what it was. But when you take the Mass Effect engineering and mechanics and stuff, and I'm used to playing this game, and I have these 3 powers, and my character's fucking awesome.
Right.
With the zombie style waves, 1 through 10, and then a fucking
Zombies.
rescue landing. It was so fun, dude.
I
was
still,
so
I bought Mass Effect 3.
Modern Warfare.
Call of Duty, yeah, Modern Warfare 3, just for that.
Yeah, survival mode was dope too.
for that survival. God, it was so cool to play.
Yeah, we played that at Vista one night. I remember that. Good
It's
shit.
so fun.
It is fun.
But
It's hard
it is
to
something.
beat
There's
Nazi
just,
zombies though, man.
there is something. It's cool to like bunker in and be able to have like time to plan and upgrade and getting through another level and then like trying to heal and like it's just there's something to it.
I will say
Yeah.
that was fun. Like, Nazi zombies was obviously an experience, but the Modern Warfare 3 thing was nice because you had that actual modern weaponry, and you could like hunker down and set up a barricade and set up like an auto turret and
Yeah.
mortar and whatever the hell you wanted. You weren't restricted to the
You could set
the
up a
basic weapons.
Predator missile to come in and
Yeah.
fuck people up and
It's fucking fun, dude. I kind of want to play video games right now.
I do want to play the
I want to play the
videos.
video game. Turn on my Xbox when I get home. I want to play it. Oh god.
Well, I'm on the
Rogue
Dark
Squadron
Dark-
podcast. What?
So yeah, I'm on the Dark Souls kick.
I thought you said you were pissed about
He
it.
he laughs at me, but I do. I legitimately take it in chunks. So
No, I was laughing because you fought the Capra Demon once, and then you died, and then you just immediately turned it off. Or you switched to
because
YouTube or something
I got to where I wanted. I wanted to open up that gate to get back to that one fire pit.
God, I can't fucking wait.
Right.
So
can't fucking
and then
wait.
I was just like, well, I got there. I might as well try to die, and I opened that thing up, and it was like instant. I was like, well, fuck. I got where I wanted, so I saved, and I was done.
I will say there have been hints, like he didn't know where to go after the gargoyles, and I was like, "There's a bell down below," and then he was like, "Oh, okay," and then he figured it out. But then
He's
I
a
was like,
smart
"You
lad.
gotta look around because there is a way to beat the Capra Demon decently." But then I also said, "There's a joke around the Dark Souls community that the Capra Demon, no matter how many times you played it, is still difficult as hell
pain in
because
the
of how
fucking ass.
tiny the area is and the stupid
Yeah.
dogs." Yeah.
The dogs are annoying.
Yeah. Honestly, once you get past the Capra Demon, I mean, it's... I don't know. Then the rest of it is just... I don't know. It's Dark Souls.
Do you ever have to beat that guy that's defending that forest area?
No.
Don't even say that.
What?
You have no idea
Havel?
what's about to
Havel?
happen.
The like one-armed
Oh, you
demon.
don't have to beat him if you don't
I
want
just
to.
run past
Yeah,
him.
you can run past
Yeah.
him. The Titanite Demon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can run past him if you want.
Fuck you, Travis Dunn.
I was... You don't know this because you were gone, but I was... in case we played this weekend, I was taking one of my Dark Souls remastered characters and taking him to where Mopar was.
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
case we wanted to play together.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like cutting through people like butter, and Erica's like, or Glass Armor, sorry, is like, you better not let him see you playing like that. He's gonna get so pissed. You're just like easing through it.
That's the hard thing I was explaining to him last episode is like, I want to play multiplayer because it's fun.
Right.
But you also kind of just, you have to suffer through the nonsense of it being the most difficult game ever.
Well, because we were playing with Butterclone a couple weeks ago, and I feel like he didn't really
Appreciate it.
right because
He said the
we
same
were just
thing. He's like, I'd
cutting
rather play by
everyone
myself
down. Yeah, exactly.
and have it be, if I have to do the same thing 10 times, it's more worth it because I get to actually experience what the game's like.
But there's like...
Because the
Not
feeling when you beat a difficult boss on your own, it's ridiculous.
I actually laughed
It's
'cause last week
just
he
as
was
good
just
as
like-
sex. Like it's so amazing.
No, it's the opposite.
It's pretty awesome.
It pisses me
Last
off.
week he was just like, I beat a boss and all that work and I don't care.
It pissed me off because all
That's
I did...
what I said.
First of all, I got nothing out of it. I got nothing, like no
You must,
items.
You're right. You're not looking at
You
the
get a shit ton
screen.
of souls.
You get a
What are you
lot of
talking about?
souls.
The souls doesn't... That
And
is
you
not
get-
items to me. Like, I
Well, that's
know
how you
can
buy
That's
use
everything.
them.
That's how you level up.
You buy
That's how you
upgrades and
shit.
level up.
That's, I mean, that's...
You probably
got-
also got humanity.
But I cut his tail off. I knew to
Yeah, you got
do
the
that.
axe.
Yes, you got the axe.
So, but I can't use it because it's too heavy.
Yeah, but you can use
Okay,
it
well then
later.
you're using a different type of character then.
Right. So
You're
I
a
got
strength
nothing.
character.
And then I ran up and rung the bell, and I didn't know that was the end result. I thought there was like a continuation, like something's going to happen once I ring the bell. Nothing happened. And I ran back down and walked back through the battlefield again. I was like, I literally spent several hours trying to beat these guys. And then the one you mentioned, like, for 5 minutes, you're like, oh, yeah, just become a human and get a guy. I'm like, well, first of all, I didn't know what the fuck that was. So I did that and immediately beat him easy. And I was like, well, I've been struggling all this time, and I didn't know, like, the rules of the... And then I got to the... Like I said,
I kind of get that, because it's like, if you play a game like Bioshock that's, like, very, very story-driven with great combat, when you beat a big boss-type character, you move forward in the story and you keep going. But in this, it's about the combat, and it's about struggling to move forward.
Yeah,
rather
but there's
than the story.
Right. Well, there's no story.
There is.
There is.
Just
It's
not
more
obvious.
lore. It's not so much story, but it's, the story is simple, but the lore is ridiculous. It's extravagant, which, I mean, Commander and I love.
There's a
lore and
certain
stuff
point,
on it.
there's a tipping point in the game that only certain people get past. And when you get past that point, you're in love with the fucking game. From that point until the day you die.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
So
I
hopefully
won't
you get to
spoil
that.
anything,
Hopefully
but
you
yeah.
get to that point.
You gotta beat the
If
Draugr
you
demon.
don't,
What the
then
fuck
I
his
have
name
to
is.
look
The
for a new
Draugr
house.
demon.
The Draugr demon. Gotta be
Fighting
Captain Phasma.
Skyrim and Dark Souls
Gotta
Draugr
defeat
demon.
Captain Phasma on that.
There she is.
Yep.
Fuck her up.
What up, girl? Hey, girl. What you doing over there, bro?
Can't tell. Got a cockle piece still.
Yeah.
Was that in the Patreon chat that someone said, I can't tell it's female armor or whatever?
No, that was what the
was just a meme, wasn't
fanboys.
it?
People were pissed because they're like, I can't tell it's a girl. She doesn't have a breastplate with tits hanging out. People were so upset because.
Well, of course, that's why women love.
That was the start of all this nonsense.
Well, that's
That
why
was back
women
in
loved the
2014.
Wonder Woman movie, is because in that movie, they were literally wearing armor. The Amazonians were. But then when they showed up again in Justice League, they were wearing, like, fucking Leia bikinis.
Brassieres.
Yeah. Which pissed people off.
But the less you wear, the more mobile you are with the arrows.
Yeah, but she...
That's true. There is a drawback, yeah. It's a...
God, I want to watch Wonder Woman
What's
now.
the word?
That movie's so badass.
Yeah, it's
So
good. man.
good.
It's really good. I'm sad I only seen Endgame one time.
I was just thinking about that the other day.
It's
'Cause it
digital.
just released on digital.
No,
Yeah.
I know. That's why I'm thinking about
I
it.
just don't want to pay $20 for it right now.
I don't want to pay money for it. It's the money.
Yeah, about tomorrow.
I remember liking it. I accidentally saw it on 3D though, so...
Accidentally.
Oh my god, that would suck.
No, I'm serious because it was so busy that day when tickets first went on sale, and I knew we were going to be in Chicago on tour, and so I clicked the thing to buy tickets, and it went to 3D even though it said 2D, and I didn't notice. So, oops.
I did it again. Sorry. You getting copy stricken for that?
Play a game with your heart.
Play a game with your heart.
Don't play Risk. Cardio valve.
Play a long game with your heart.
That's Operation, motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Don't touch the sides.
You know what I want to do? We haven't done it in a very, very, very fucking long time.
Oh Jesus.
Is sit down and play Lord of the Rings Risk while watching Lord of the Rings extended version.
The last time we did that was what, 2009, 2010?
It was in college. It was
Yeah,
9 years ago.
We went through. Didn't we go through both Two Towers Extended and Return of the King Extended?
I think it was
plus?
Fellowship and Two Towers.
Right, but like I'm pretty sure the movie ended. Like Return of the King ended, and we were still finishing up. Like
It's possible. And then we went to Schneider's to get donuts.
that's accurate.
No, but honestly, playing that while watching, it was great.
That was
Great
good.
experience. So I would like to go back to
That
those
was
days.
very good.
Please, if anybody wants to play Lord of the Rings, Risk, please.
But a clone.
Make a
Make a bagel.
Who
Make
has
a-
Lord of the Rings Risk? Was that Butterclone that had it?
Butterclone
Yeah.
did have
Okay.
that, yeah. I don't know if he still has it.
Yeah.
I've been looking
He
for
probably
a
does.
good, solid Risk game.
Well,
Like,
now
they're
you
all
played
plastic.
a little bit of Dark Souls. We should play some Dark Souls board games.
Did you see? Sorry, going back to Lord of the Rings. Did you see the video that they released for the Amazon series, where they just
No.
like, it doesn't show like what it is, but it introduces to us people who are involved in it, and so it's like there's literally a Tolkien scholar that is on the main staff for this TV show. So it just
I'm very
they got like
excited
these
for this.
writers from top level TV shows and shit. So they can obviously tell everyone, hey, we're taking this really seriously. It's not going to be Game of Thrones season 8. So I mean, it's it's awesome.
Game of Thrones season 8. That's one thing we can talk about now that we moved into it.
Did you guys not already talk about it?
Oh, we definitely did.
Oh, okay, great.
But we haven't had any guests on in actually like probably 15 episodes.
Oh, shit.
And we haven't had you on in a while, so
Yeah,
I
it's been
respect
a
your
minute.
opinion. So, what do you think about the atrocity that was the end of Game of Thrones?
My main issue is that I don't know if it's because I watched them all before season 8, but I currently have like no desire to do anything with Game of Thrones in the foreseeable future, which is very upsetting because I love, we played the card game. We love that.
So that's why you don't
universe.
respond to my text if you want to play the fucking card game.
I did respond. We were just like,
fuck Thrones.
not in Game of Thrones
Fuck that
mood right now.
bullshit. They ruined that shit. I hate it.
But I think you guys did talk about this, where I feel like the Night King should have been dealt with writing wise by like end of season 7 or something like that, and they should have spent more than 2 or 3 episodes on the actual Game of Thrones that is happening between Cersei and Jon and Dany.
Yeah.
Like, that was ridiculous. It just felt completely rushed. It felt like D&D were just like, yeah, we want to get this over with so we can do Star Wars. Like, I mean, that's honestly what it felt like for the last season.
Yeah.
It felt rushed as they were trying to wrap everything up, obviously, but like they didn't do it episode by episode. It felt like the last episode they tried to just wrap up like 7 characters at once, and you're like, why is Bran? Who is he? Why? Where? Wait, John's going. Wait, Arya. What kind of shit? Like what? It was all just like, oh shit, we forgot to get these people figured out, so we'll just dump them.
I mean, I get the thing with the Starks. Like, it's obvious from the very first episode that something is going to end with the Starks.
Yeah.
My overall consensus, and this is what I've stuck to, is that if they just made season 7 and 8 10 episodes long,
Yeah.
they
Took
had
the
that extra
time
time.
needed.
They had that extra 6 episodes total. 7 episodes total?
Season 7 was 8,
Was
I
it
think.
8?
And then
And
season
season
8 was 6.
6.
Yeah.
So if they had those extra 6 episodes,
Yeah.
they would have had plenty of time to do what they wanted to do. Because I'm not mad about the ending itself. I'm mad about how they got there. And it felt like we had a very steady fucking pace from season 1 to 6. And then all of a sudden, 7 and 8 just fucking sprinted to the end.
I mean, I was just going to say that season 6 is probably one of my favorite because it's a perfect balance of that slow burn plus
Yes.
really craziness happening.
Yeah.
So that's why
6 is great.
Right, exactly. So it's like if they took the time to do a similar type of pacing, then
Yeah.
They stopped killing people off. That's the biggest issue.
because Winds of Winter, the season 6 finale, is one of my favorite episodes ever. Like that first 15 minutes of, oh my god, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like there was like 3 full seasons where they killed off like maybe one or 2 like side characters. I was like, dude, they should have nixed like the Hound. They should have nixed the Hound earlier.
Like, I disagree about that. And I know there's a whole thing about
Well,
like
because everyone wanted to see Clegane Bowl.
Clegane Bowl, but at the same
Right.
time, though, I thought the Hound's arc was one of the ones that they actually did continue through to the end of the series.
See, I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it with his ending with Arya
Yeah.
in the courtyard before he goes to see his brother.
But I feel
thought
like-
that was dope.
I feel like they did Arya's arc in 6 seasons, and then she just continued on as an assassin character.
Right.
The Hound's actually, it took until that last episode or 2, well, second to last episode,
Right.
to actually play out. I like that. I like the Hound's ending.
I will, in defense of the 8th season, I will say
touch my leg.
that I will say that the cinematography and
Yeah.
everything besides the writing essentially is incredible in the 8th season, because everyone was pissed about the long night, how it was super dark, and I was like,
The episode's
that's how
called The
dark-
Long Night.
That's how dark it would be for them in real life. Like, I mean,
I had
it's-
no issues whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, we watched it on a projection screen in a hotel room. Is how we watched it on tour.
There was a stretch
Which
of
is so
like
awesome.
2 minutes where it was
Hallway.
close to pitch black.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, that was kind of supposed to be like that. I could see everything else. Like, it wasn't an issue.
But writing wise for that episode, upon rewatching like a week later before the next episode aired, I was like, okay, this is kind of a stretch. Like the whole John, like I know there's a theory of John distracting the dragon
Yeah.
Sirion so
Yeah.
that Arya could run past or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like as soon as the air like rushes the White Walker's hair a little bit, then that's immediately when the Night King would be like, oh, holy shit, I should probably wait for a second because someone's coming behind me. But nope, that didn't happen. She just leaps through the air and then, like, yeah, it was epic upon first viewing, but then the second viewing, it's like, okay. Like, probably could have done that a little better.
Yeah, I also think they really fucked around with the, I don't know if I want to say power dynamics per se.
Right.
But the scale of things, like there would be some scenes where there's 5,000 White Walkers storming 3 people and they survive. Mm-hmm. And then there's other scenes where there's like 20 of them and they storm through the gates. Like I feel like they really fucked with that. And there was the one
like
thing
all
where
the Dothraki apparently charged at them, but then there's still some alive. It's like that doesn't make sense.
That does make sense. And then there was also the thing where the one dragon got shot down by all the boats like instantly, but then she stormed it with Viserys, and it was like, oh, no big deal.
Yeah, that was
not Viserys. Viserion. Drogon. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that made sense to me.
I mean, I get that she's coming from the sun, but
No. She was prepared. She was attacking. The first one, they were literally just flying, and then the dragon took one to the gut, and then so it was like, oh shit, and then the other ones hit it. So it's
but
like
the fact
she
that
was
the
flying
boat,
straight at them, and they were just not hitting.
The fact that the boat could hit it that accurately.
Oh yeah,
and then all of a sudden,
especially with the waves,
right? And then all of a sudden,
couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
That stuff bugs me, man.
That
they
plus
really
just
fuck with that.
plus just saying what the Night King was there to do. So
I agree with Travis Dunn here.
Oh yeah,
Cersei and Jaime's death was like not satisfying.
Agreed there too. Yep.
I think for their characters, as far as their relationship, it was satisfying that they met each other at the end, except that Cersei essentially died how she would want to die in Jaime's arms, which is really upsetting. Because then it's like, we would rather Cersei die the way that she
all
killed
that terrible stuff.
That
and she
Septa
got what she
with
wanted.
the Mountain, who got tortured by the Mountain for who knows how long.
Right.
You know, that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the issue with Jaime's arc, they took 6 seasons to take the arc in this direction.
Yep.
But then they only took like 1 to have him, not even 1, like 2 episodes for him to totally change his mind and switch sides and run back to Cersei.
No, it was 1 episode.
It was one episode.
Because he had sex with Brienne.
Right.
And Brienne was like super excited, being like, oh my God, Jaime Lannister, I love you. And then he was like,
I just can't get away
I gotta
from
go to Cersei. And
Yeah.
then it was just the end of that 1 episode.
My sister's much better at hand
That's why the
jobs.
8th episode is
Gotta
so
go
bad.
back.
She knows that molestation and everything.
She knows the bit, the little extra bit that I got. She knows how to dangle it.
Yeah, you know.
They should have
twins,
died
they
a
got that
horrible
extra,
slow
extra.
death.
Extra.
I think Jaime redeemed himself
Extra.
a little bit.
Newspapers for sale. Sorry. He did. Jaime redeemed himself 100%. He was like, wait, never mind. I gotta go back.
Yeah.
Why are you going back? It's in the script. Sorry.
I
He's
will
gotta go
He came
say-
back.
all the way back. He came to Winterfell, even though he was fucking beaten and like bloody and could barely make it back on the horse. Knighted Brienne, made love to her, and was like, yeah, Cersei is my balls. And
I will say season 5, it pops up in my time hop every year. Season 5, I was totally like, oh my God, I can't believe I actually feel bad for Cersei when she got taken in by the High Sparrow and
Crazy
she
part of the
lost
book too, man.
she lost what's her face, her daughter.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, I actually feel bad for Cersei once. And then Winds of Winter happens and it's like, okay, never mind, fuck her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think Jaime really deserved this horrible death, but Cersei definitely did.
Yeah.
God, that was so funny when she just like tiptoes around the mountain to keep going down the stairs when they're about to fight. That was so ridiculous.
Fucking die! I fucking love him, dude.
God.
I love the Hound.
The
I love
Hound
the
is
Mountain.
awesome.
So what do you think about what Martin himself is going to do for books 6 and 7, which are still not out?
I think especially after the reception of season 8, he is waiting until that kind of dies down before
You think
announcing
he's
it.
changing
obviously.
anything, or you think he's just waiting a little bit?
Oh, sure.
I think it's already different. I think the only thing that they maybe knew is that not. You know what? I don't know, because he did tell them, I thought, how he was going to end it as far as like who is on the throne and where certain characters are. That's
I don't know
rumor.
the details. I know that he was giving them specific info, Like, I know they got past the books.
Because they got big picture stuff, but they didn't get,
Like, he did tell them about Hodor's demise.
Right.
Like, they knew about that.
Right.
I think there was just specific things that he was dishing out in, like, hotel rooms or whatever.
My theory is that he's actually done with book 6 and most of book 7, but he was waiting for the TV series to be done and kind of die down a little bit before
that's kind of one thing.
releasing them.
We'll have some epic comeback. He also took time off to write the fucking Targaryen thing.
Yeah,
What?
Travis Dunn is saying they made such a fuss about prophecy, then they kind of ignored it in the last season. That's true, because I mean the red, not that red bitch. What's her name? Melisandre. The other one comes to Daenerys and says it's the prince or princess who is promised.
Yeah.
And they never touch on that again.
Also, A Song of Ice and Fire is about Jon, and then he just ends up at the wall doing nothing.
That I forgot about that. That kind of pissed me off, but I will say that that's kind of what he wanted, is that he didn't want to be king and he wanted to kind of be able to do whatever the fuck he wanted, which he is kind of doing whatever the fuck he wants, except that he's at the wall. So
this is the most cliche thing, that you have Jon Snow and he's not supposed to be the king and he doesn't want it, but he's a great guy and he deserves it anyways. And he becomes the king at the end of the fucking story.
Right.
So cliche. But if any fucking story deserves that cliche moment, spending 6 seasons about people getting like raped and destroyed and murdered and everything terrible happens, and Jon fights through all this shit being a bastard and everything and deserves to be the king. I feel like if any story deserves a cliche moment, it's Game of Thrones.
They could have twisted it a little bit. Like Sansa, I felt like was ready to become a queen.
I could have seen that.
So like if
she is now though, isn't she?
Well,
Queen of the North?
They recited or whatever, but
I am Queen of the North.
I have recited
They perceived her.
They perceived her.
Oh,
There's
Queen of the
Sansa.
North. Look, hark! I see a Queen of the North.
I believe she's reciting it right now.
My lords and ladies, I am Queen of the North.
But they also receded from the.
Run!
like hairlines?
Yes.
Like what? Receding?
Queen of
Receded.
the North.
Receding.
Run!
Receded from the Union.
Seceded.
No, they receded back to the gray hairs.
I think I get what you're saying, because like
They
Tyrion-
preceded as well.
because a lot of people were saying they wish that Tyrion would end up being on the throne, which
No.
technically, because isn't he hand of the king at the end of it?
Yeah.
Right. So that was kind of a workaround, because with Robert, the hand of the king was essentially the king. So with Jon, they could have done something similar. That was kind
exactly.
of a workaround.
I
That's what
thought.
think you were
I
going
thought
Jon would've not allowed
Sansa.
that, though.
Sansa would have been queen, and then he would have been hand.
Oh, Jon would have.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, sorry.
But obviously, Tyrion would be a much better hand. He's been hand for the entire life,
See,
one
that
way or
would've
another.
that would have made sense now that you say that out loud. That if Sansa was queen and Jon was hand, because when he was king in the North and she was kind of like, "What are you fucking doing?" in front of all the other houses, she was
Miranda.
actually making perfect sense. So yeah, that would have been awesome. I didn't even think about that.
You think Tyrion got dumb for like a season?
It was weird.
Kind of weird.
It was weird. I agree.
He's an evil genius.
Like, I guess they never really addressed that when Tyrion was like awkwardly looking at Jon when he went into Dany's room before they fucked in the end of season 7. They didn't really address that.
There's also stuff like
That I remember.
Tyrion talks to Bran in that one episode by the camp or by the fire,
Yeah.
but they never really. I thought that was gonna.
What?
Dunn said, "I feel like Bran, who could see the future, is the worst person to pick to be king.
I don't think he can see the future.
He can see. He can. I don't think he can see the future either. Actually,
No. He knows everything that's ever happened, and he can see what's currently happening right now.
right.
He cannot see the future.
So he just has eyeballs.
If he can see the future,
You
it's
missed the
not
first two
like
things
the
I said.
future. It's like possible outcomes.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe,
think
but
it's
I think
actually-
that was a part of the
But
whole...
I agree. I don't think he can actually see
the
any
whole
sort of
the whole
future.
reasoning behind like, oh, it makes sense that he's the king because he can see the future. No, he can't fucking see the future.
That it was
not real.
cringy when they were doing that council thing trying to pick the king.
What do you
and
think
he
I
said,
came all
"What do
this
you think I
way?"
came all this way for?" And I was like,
Why do you think I rolled my fucking wheelchair through the desert, bitch?
"Why do you think I purposely fell out that window? I knew I was gonna become king."
Why do you think I spotted that incest? I knew it.
Well, that was the other upsetting thing about the writing is that when when Tyrion is like, who has a better story than, and everyone's like,
Jon Snow!
fucking Snow, and then he's like, Bran the Broken. It's like,
Well, Jon,
wait,
Daenerys, Khal Drogo, fucking Edmure Tully,
So many
everybody
people.
else.
Edmure, when he starts talking,
Dude.
everyone's like, just sit the fuck down, Edmure Tully. Shut up.
Bran's an interesting character, but I definitely always pictured him as like the new him and Sam together are like the new maesters of the world, and they just advise people on all the
Who?
fucking
Bran and
wizardry.
Sam?
Bran and Samwise.
Dude, their scene at the end of season 7 when they both come together about Jon's
Yeah, that's badass.
heritage. Yeah, that's awesome.
But you're not the fucking king.
But Jon's heritage also ended up
His hair.
having nothing to do with,
Hair of the king.
other than his rift with Dany. His being a Targaryen had absolutely nothing to do with the outcome.
That's what I mean. So when that revelation happened,
Well, maybe it did. Maybe that's another reason why they didn't make him king, is because he was also Targaryen blood.
But I feel like so at first, the Song of Ice and Fire.
Right.
You think it's Jon and Daenerys, but then you
Mm-hmm.
realize Jon's heritage, and you're like, oh, it's just Jon. And I feel like, why would he name the series that if it's not just Jon? So I'm excited for the books.
Yeah. I mean,
Why
plenty
is
of
there
people
still a
are
Night's
books.
Watch?
I don't know,
That's the other question.
because they want a drinking club, or they can go hunt wolves and
That's
fuck
what I'm
around.
saying. We not only didn't make him king, we moved him to a section that doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So now he's just an adventurer who takes it to the knee.
Takes it to the knee. Took an
Yeah,
arrow
the
to knee.
wildlings are part of the culture now. They're part of the North. They don't have a segregated community, and the White Walkers are all melted. So
But also the Unsullied leave Westeros.
that's the most
specifically,
frustrating thing. Is
And
that
they're the ones who were gonna
Yeah.
pitch a fit if Jon was king.
Grey Worm sits there and cusses out Tyrion. He's like, all right, well, I guess this cripple guy is going to be doing it. And then Grey Worm's like, all right, that's cool. All right, we're out of here.
But and they went.
then we
Didn't they go
leave.
back across the sea?
Yeah,
they
and it's like,
literally
okay,
show them.
Jon, step up. Now you can be the king.
Why
And they
do
go
they
to the-
even have say?
I don't know.
We're
'Cause
gonna
they-
live. We're gonna live way over there, and we're never gonna see each other again. But I have a vote. I have a vote in this, and I don't want that dusty bitch who banged my queen.
The political wrap up of the entire series happens in like 30 minutes. It's so ridiculous.
Totally changing subjects here.
And I thought just
Never mind.
last comment on
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Last comment. I unfortunately thought that the scene with Tyrion leading the small council chamber, very heartwarming, but I thought it was cringe because of how things ended.
right.
And I was like,
agree.
oh, Tyrion fucked up for a season and a half straight, and now he's the hand of the king,
Mm-hmm.
and Bran's the king, and everyone's cool,
he did fuck
and
up with
Podrick
his-
is wheeling
yeah,
the king
that's true.
around.
Just wheeling around.
Like that could have been a great heartwarming, like great scene to end the entire series, is them meeting up with each other. And Bronn tried
Yeah.
to kill everybody, and then is all of a sudden back and is like, "Oh, here I am."
He didn't try to kill everyone though. She sent him to, but he didn't actually do it, did he?
Well, he was going to,
Oh, that's right. They
and then he
had that
disappears,
conversation. Yeah,
and then
that's
he's
right.
just like, he's back, he's all good.
Have you guys talked? So
That was
have you guys talked about the Watchmen series that's coming out yet?
No,
Have
not
you guys-
really.
No. Have you guys watched those trailers yet?
I've seen one trailer. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Kenny Powers'
It
dad
looks
is in it.
fucking amazing. So it looks like there's like a, I don't want to say a gang or a squad, but there's like a group that starts based on Rorschach. So they all have like these Rorschach
Oh, it's a cult.
masks. Yeah, a cult essentially. But they almost come across as like the KKK essentially in the trailer.
Yeah,
So what it is at the end of the comics, Rorschach sends his journal that we've been using for like narration the whole comic. He sends it to the press to publish, and so the idea is apparently this gang or this, what did you say?
cult.
Cult
Kool-Aids.
of Rorschach
Kool-Aid
essentially
drinkers.
started because they actually read the truth of his journal and they believe that to be the truth. But then there's also Adrian Veidt who caused the whole thing, Ozymandias,
Right.
who's trying to fight that, but then it looks incredible. You guys got to watch the trailer, both trailers at some point. It looks amazing.
I've seen
comes out
it.
this
It
fall.
might have been a teaser what I saw, and it was probably 3 months ago. I think it was
yeah,
like the first
Comic-Con
episode
they came
of
out
Thrones.
with a trailer like 2 weeks ago or something
Okay,
like that.
cool. Yeah, I have to watch that.
Because there's a woman that comes across that she says she's like a federal investigator, but her name is Lori, and people think that she's Silk Spectre too, and it's the same Lori they think, because her last name is the same last name as the comedian. So
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. That's a savage fucking intertwined web there.
I know it looks awesome.
Here's a good question for you.
Yeah.
Was Watchmen, did that come out before Batman vs Superman? Sorry.
The
did that
movie?
come out before
Dark Knight?
what was I saying on a past episode?
It came out in 2009. If that helps.
Watchmen did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was earlier than that.
No, because I remember seeing the first preview before Dark Knight. So
Wait.
it was like March 2009 when it came out.
The Dark Knight came out.
2008.
Wow, I'm way off.
2008, yeah, that sounds right. And then Watchmen.
Then
And
Watchmen
then
was
Batman
spring
vs Superman
2009.
is what, like 2014?
Yeah, that was Yeah, 2014, 2015 even. I'm pretty sure.
What was I saying though?
Maybe it was 2016.
Maybe it was
Anyways.
the Dark Knight. It was you were asking.
I was saying like it was just a totally different spin on superhero movies. It was
I mean, it was
dark and
before-
like psychologically twisted, and like we hadn't seen that until that, and then Watchmen came out.
Other than the ending of Zack Snyder's Watchmen, to me, it's like so fucking close to the comic book. Like other than the ending being different, because in the ending of the comic book, it's like a giant alien that he makes to come splatter a city instead
So
of
just like it,
instead
man.
of Dr. Manhattan doing his right. So
So glad they changed that.
I mean, I'm glad they changed it. Obviously, comic book enthusiasts hate that they changed
But
it.
in your mind, as far as what the perception of superhero movies and comic book movies up until Dark Knight came out
Right.
was pretty much like you have the good guy and he beats the bad guys.
Yeah.
And then Dark Knight switched everything.
Pretty much. That's why, in my opinion, the DC universe tries to be what it tries to be. Like how it tries to be like
makes sense.
dark and
Rachel!
brooding and shit. Yeah, that's because of Nolan's Batman trilogy. Yeah. So that's why I would say Batman do what he fucking does.
I would say Dark Knight, and then plus the Watchmen came out like right about the same time.
Yeah, 2008, 2009.
Yeah, they were less than a year apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember the Watchmen trailer premiered before Dark Knight. That's how I remember that.
Because Dark Knight is still Batman's a good guy, but it's so demented because of Joker.
But he ends up being
the
the bad guy.
That's why.
Well, the perception of the public is, but we as the
Exactly.
audience of the movie know that he's still the good guy.
But he kills
But
motherfuckers.
Watchmen mind fucks you the entire time.
No, it doesn't.
Watchmen is so good.
It's really good. Ooh, why you stop kicking my
I wanna
table,
see it
bro?
again.
It talked.
It talked.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I gotta catch up, man. I gotta catch up. Spider-Man and everything else. All the Disney stuff.
You need to see Spider-Man. I loved it so much. Mysterio was so awesome in it.
I love me some Jake G. Spider-Verse is also on Netflix. Need to watch that
I was
again.
listening to that soundtrack is so good. I was listening to that the other day. I gotta watch that movie again. I haven't seen it since theaters.
I watched
I
it not too long ago.
I was happy that we watched Solo a couple weeks ago.
Dude,
He had only seen Solo one time in theaters.
I saw it in theaters. It was the day that I got home from tour, and I was fucking exhausted. I remember I'm pretty sure I actually fell asleep for like 10 minutes or something like that during the movie. But yeah, we rewatched it, and I was actually slightly hammered. But even then, I was like, "This is
Medium hammered.
awesome."
Medium hammered.
Then
Yeah,
we got
I was really hammered when we watched Rush
Hour, yeah. Council on.
No, that's true. Yeah, so
It's like standard, like stammered.
the score
Stammered.
really stood out in Solo.
It is honestly up there with my favorite Star Wars scores. John
pretty
Powell's
good.
a fucking savage, man.
It's pretty good.
Now Aquaman.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little
Jesus.
bit. All right, so you have a low opinion of it. Is what I'm
Look,
gathering here.
There's a lot of what they did.
Because I felt
was
bad
fine.
not liking it first.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done a lot of things better. The score and / soundtrack of what they do, it's trash.
Like
Like,
it's
it-
orchestral,
worse
and then
than-
it's like 80s synth, and then it's orchestral. It's just
Worse than
it's
Suicide
Oh, it's-
Squad.
all around.
Yeah. Because Suicide Squad, it's supposed to be like quirky like that. This is like an origin story of how he gets the power. And it was like all over the place. And it legitimately felt like a Nala Simba Italian spaghetti strami walk.
Spaghetti strami.
But you know what I'm talking about? Where like all of
Yeah,
a sudden
pastrami sandwich
the
movie.
score changes to something like
Pastrami
light,
Eastern.
and there's no dialogue. They're just walking around. That's what happens. The score changes suddenly.
Yeah.
and it's like a lighter rock or whatever you want to say, but there's no dialogue. It's just them like looking at stuff.
Yeah.
She does that little fountain dolphin. She eats the flower because she's not from here. They laugh and giggle, and then you're like, why?
Yeah, it's a fall in love montage.
God, I hated it.
Yeah,
It reminded me of Dumb and Dumber. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
It reminded me of when he was dreaming about that fart joke. That's how it felt to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where her hooters come out and there's a headlight.
Yeah, and he like throws the nuts in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the montage that was in my
I
mind
know
during
exactly
that.
what you mean.
See, I feel like Wonder Woman's the only one that got it right, because like her and Steve, whatever the fuck his name was,
Steve Rogers.
Chris Pine in the movie.
Steve Rogers.
I don't remember what his name is. The pilot dude.
Steve Rogers.
They never try
Flyer?
and like force
Captain
a
America.
romantic thing with the two of them.
Yeah.
That's why it got it right. But then Aquaman is doing the whole like, oh my god, oh, we're holding hands. It's like, no.
Yeah, literally there was like
Yeah.
3 things that I just said 3 things. She like falls off a small ladder and he catches her and then they look at each other.
Yeah.
It's so, yeah.
I remember feeling bad for not liking it first away.
There's some cool
I don't
shit.
not like it.
There's some cool shit that happens, and
Yeah.
I like the movie. But
And
there's
Momoa's a fucking badass.
there's like a half hour in there that I'm like, you fucked that all up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10.
I'd probably be about the same.
I'd give it a 1 out of 3. I don't do the 10 ratings for. I do our B rating system. Thank God for us for making
movies?
that up.
So you
I do
do.
it for every fucking thing. BT Man's 3 out of 3. Metallic's 3 out of 3. Aquaman's 1.
BT Bam all the time.
If you like comic book movies,
Always.
watch it. If you don't, fuck off.
There you
If
go.
you oogle over Jason Momoa on Instagram, go see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Aquaman
do
wasn't
that,
terrible.
so I saw it.
Yeah.
But those were my opinions. It like wasn't that great.
Now there like the stuff that they did well was like the battles between Aquaman and his brother, who was king at the time. There was some epic craziness that happened, like the Ring of Fire tournament thing that he like challenges him to. The battles and the action is actually pretty cool.
They did throw in too much, though, don't you think? Like, you have to tell the
There's-
story of how he killed Manta Ray's dad and all that bullshit. And then also, he's from Atlantis, and there's 7 kingdoms, and they each have their own interactive fucking thing, and everybody has a province. And there's a giant crab beast monster.
Well,
from
setting that all
Mount
up,
Doom.
setting that all up's the issue because now you have to set up Aquaman on land. Now you have to set up the kingdoms, Atlantis, and then the history of Atlantis.
Not to mention, he dives through the fucking ocean into
That's
a wormhole
true.
into Jurassic Park.
He shows up, and yeah, Jurassic Park 2
It's literally fucking Jurassic Park.
with the cages and the Terminators.
Yes. James
Remember the odds?
James and Steven fucking had it. Sorry.
But yeah,
Pickup truck.
I'm going down.
God.
If anybody gets that, I'll give you $20.
I will give you less than that if you get that.
Less than $20.
I'll give you $20. I'll give you $10 and a 6-pack of Columbus beer if you know what that reference is from, and you say it and then email us.
Going down highway.
You gave it too much
40
away. It's too
in
much.
My big old.
Oh my God.
Even with that, I'd be surprised if any gets it.
All right.
So top 3 movies that came out in the past 5 years,
Past 5 years. Wow.
and you are not able to look anything up. We have to base this
I
off
can
memory.
name 2 of them already.
I can name
gotta
one.
name another one.
7,
though.
8, and Solo.
I can name one like immediately.
What is happening?
The issue is I don't know like if I think 5 years ago, am I gonna guess a movie that came out 6 years ago and get it fucked up? So that's
Yeah,
the
so
issue.
2014 is the earliest we're talking.
I got 2 of them. I'm trying
I've
to
got 2 of mine.
Favorite movies, yeah? That's a question?
movies.
All right.
Yeah, not it
No
doesn't
strings
Wait, best or
attached.
no strings
favorite?
attached. Exactly.
No, okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll start.
I
'cause
need a third one.
yeah, I'll start.
Okay.
Easy peasy. I'll watch this any day. Ooh, I got my third now. Logan. I would watch Logan all fucking day. It hit all the strings for me. I thought like the soundtrack, dude. Johnny Cash's "Hurt" in Logan. Holy fuck. Perfect. Perfect. So Logan's probably number 1 on my list.
I will say, in no particular order, the first one I'm thinking of, though, is Infinity War. For sure. I'm a huge fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The culmination of everything. It's a cinematic achievement that they were able to tie all that stuff in together. And Infinity War is like Empire Strikes Back and how it ends on a really down note.
Yeah.
Everything just it completes to like one of the most perfect movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my third one. One of mine would be Interstellar, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When was that?
2014, end of 2014. It's so good. It hits everything for me because.
Well, I have to pick that then.
Right.
I
'cause
forgot
mean,
about
it's-
it. I thought it was before the past 5 years.
Oh, but you've only said. Wait, what?
He said I can't look anything up, so I had 3 in mind,
Oh, you thought
thinking that
okay,
Interstellar
got it,
was
got it.
more than 5 years old.
Yeah. So I'll say my number 2. Wolf of Wall Street.
Ooh, yeah, baby.
That's one of my go-to movies. I'll put it on.
That is good.
It's almost like too long, so I always like it to a certain spot and fall asleep. But I would watch that whole movie.
See, to me, it never feels like it's 3 hours. Like
They always get
That's
to the
the mark
boat.
of a good movie.
Right, I get to the boat where they're in the storm or shit or something, and I feel like that's only been like an hour and a half, but it's actually been 2.5 hours.
No, that's true.
Sober.
But I always like zone out after that. So they get to the boat, and then he's getting like FBI'd, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm beyond.
FBI'd, female body inspected.
Best verb ever.
Oh my god.
So that's my second.
God.
I
That's
guess
good.
I have to try to squeeze in a Star Wars, huh?
Oh fuck that! I'm not putting in Star Wars. If I had to put in Star Wars, it would be Episode 7. That's probably still my favorite of all the new ones.
That's
Interstellar's
tough.
not my number 1 though, but we're still going.
Interstellar's up there too.
Yeah,
That's hard.
That's my number 2.
Interstellar is definitely number 2 for me. I would actually say Infinity War is probably. Interstellar might be number 1, man. Interstellar was so good.
That's another real long one.
In no
it doesn't
particular
feel
order,
that long.
though. Interstellar, Infinity War for sure. The Star Wars ones I'm torn on because, like, if I'm thinking a cinema experience, 7 was huge because it was the first one. Rogue One was huge because we had a fucking crazy event. We go to see Rogue One and Darth Vader shows the fuck up. Like, who expected that?
Yeah, everyone knew.
And then Solo was an experience because it was totally unlike every other Star Wars movie.
So
And
you're
Darth Maul fucking shows up. So I'm torn between the 3 Star Wars movies.
so you're defaulting to Batman vs Superman.
that was
that
was
is the
within
last 5
years,
years, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I gotta pick a Star Wars movie though. I'll probably go safe and say Episode 7. Rogue One was a really good cinema experience because the event that we threw was so fun, and Darth Vader showed up on screen. We had no expectation of that whatsoever. It was such a good surprise, and Tarkin, the fucking brought back to life CGI, was so good. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, you're
When
saying
that-
Rogue One?
I'm thinking.
Oh yeah,
out
the
loud.
CGI. I didn't have a problem with the CGI for Tarkin or.
It was fucking
or
crazy.
Leia. Yeah.
Like a cinema only experience, Rogue One was a real treat. But if we're talking just in general movies that came out in the last 5 years, I think I gotta go with 7.
So you got all 3 years?
So
or-
7,
No.
Episode 7, Interstellar, and
Infinity
Infinity War.
My third one would be Infinity War. Second one would be Interstellar. My first one would be, which is probably my favorite movies ever, is Blade Runner 2049. Like
Never
every
saw that.
image in that movie is like fucking art. I don't know. I love that movie and that script. Everything. I love it so much.
God damn it.
Shinobi's
Back on me.
Shinobi and Dunn are spitting some out too.
Spider-Verse is good. Travis is throwing out Logan and Wonder Woman.
Endgame. I see. I need to see Endgame again. I don't really know if I like Endgame better than Infinity War.
Here's the trick that they pulled. Endgame works if you've seen the majority of all the Marvel movies. But for some reason, Infinity War is able to work if you've never seen any of them. You can watch Infinity War start to finish, and it makes sense. And it feels
Yeah.
like a complete story without knowing about the background of Tony Stark or Spider-Man or anybody.
That's true. Yeah.
Also, it's just a perfect movie.
I mean, I think it'd be awesome if they added the Infinity War and Endgame to be one
That'd be cool.
thing. I don't know if they'll ever do that, but
Stop fucking with my table.
Mad Max Fury Road. Did you guys ever see Fury Road?
I
couldn't get through it.
I didn't, actually.
I liked it. I didn't think the hype was as high as it should be. Revenant. I keep waiting for my friend Jake because he wants to watch that with me. Creed. I never really got into any of the Rocky movies except for really Rocky 4.
Tony Stank.
Tony Stank.
Oh, Revenant is
man.
the Leo movie.
Yeah, it's a Leo movie where he fights the
I
bear.
started that one. It was weird.
Yeah, I mean the director also did Birdman with Michael Keaton, which is good in my opinion because of Michael Keaton. But other than that, I don't know. But we'll see.
I'm trying to think of
Into
like
the
any.
Spider-Verse, dude. For real, that animation style just raised the bar for comic book
Do you have your third one picked out?
cartoon movies.
No.
Like, oh my god.
I was gonna after we've listed our 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't list your number 3.
Well, I
I was gonna look up the top movies in the last 5 years just to see because I'm sure we've forgotten some that I'm so bad at this part of memory.
Kingsman.
I'm sure I've forgotten some that I would put in top 3.
It's like I have to. I'm sure there's like even like a comedy out there that's just like perfect.
In the last 5 years.
Like Deadpool. I don't know.
Deadpool, yeah.
Deadpool, the first, yeah, they both came out in the last 5 years. That's true.
Revenant, Logan, Mad Max.
I'll just say Rogue One. I mean, that's
A Star is
it
Born.
was cool. Black Panther's another
Bohemian
good
Rhapsody, Black Panther.
I don't know if I've ever said this on the podcast.
What?
I fell asleep during Rogue One the first time I saw it.
Oh, you've said that before.
On the podcast?
I think so.
Okay, I feel like people are going to mute me.
The Martian.
one. What?
The Martian with
movies
Matt
in the
Damon,
last
I
5
still haven't
years.
seen it.
The Martian. What was that one that I just saw? Southpaw.
My Favorite Martian.
My Favorite Martian with
Black
Christopher
Panther.
Lloyd.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Dude, he takes like a
Black Panther's
2-minute nap, and he's like, "Wow, I was tired."
Baby Driver.
I've never actually seen it. Baby Driver.
Venom.
I liked Baby Driver. I didn't love Baby Driver. Venom is on there? What the hell are you looking at?
I'm just a list of the past like top movies of the last 5 years.
Yeah, but you talking about like money wise?
But there's like 300 movies on here
okay.
though. Greatest Showman, Magnificent Seven,
Greatest Showman. What a terrible script.
Coco.
What are you watching?
Magnificent Seven. Isn't that the one with
IMDb.
Adam Sandler on Netflix or something?
That's like the Magnificent 12 or some shit. He made a parody of it.
Oh.
How long
okay.
ago did
'Cause there's
Cloudy
people
with a
eat-
Chance of Meatballs come out?
A while.
That was a good movie.
Warcraft. The Founder.
Oh my god, the Warcraft movie. I forgot about that.
The Founder was actually pretty fucking good.
Oh, is that the
With
one
Michael
about
Keaton
McDonald's?
about the McDonald's
Yeah,
takeover.
yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Ray A. Kroc.
Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah, Ray Kroc. What?
Mission Impossible.
Dude.
We have to watch that. I haven't seen it since theaters.
Listeners, the Mission Impossible movies, other than Mission Impossible 2, they're all so good.
Mission Impossible 2 is so cheesy.
Feasible
so
Mission.
bad.
Feasible Mission.
Yeah, Feasible Mission.
Actual obligation.
Obtainable task.
My nemesis, random task.
Random task.
Who throws his shoe, honestly?
Oh man.
Let's wrap this shit up.
All right, episode 20.
Shithole.com/Mopar.
2.5 hours. John Wick!
John Wick.
I saw.
Which
I did.
one?
I did not.
They're all three so good.
I liked it, but I did not get the craziness
For
behind
which?
the first. I watched the first one.
For me, it's the universe, like the idea of, for example, he has to give a gold coin for each person he kills, and so it's like, for me, it was like thinking of Greek and like crossing the river Styx and stuff like that. No, yeah, did that just spill everywhere?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Sorry.
Wait, I'll get that Galaxy Rogue Squad.
That's for 300.
I was just saying that the other day. I remember we used to record at the Fancher house, and like whenever there was just like a pause for like 5 seconds, it'd be like, Rogue
Start
Squadron
shouting, "Hey, man,
podcast.
Rogue
Yeah,
Squadron
thanks
podcast.
everyone.
Please subscribe. Leave a dislike.
Great day,
Decent
afternoon.
gamers, please fucking shut up and never make a video.
Bad
again,
evening,
please.
Galactus.
Dislike
It's a
you.
great day, afternoon.
Topical morning, everybody.
Okay, kids, let's go.
The way you have it.
Suitable daytime. everybody.
1 out of 5. Wait, 1 out of 3
for
on
the
the
Stone.
Stone movie Lions.
Yeah.
I didn't fear movie Lions.
I don't
3
know
fear
why that
movie?
is the name of the.
It's a weird
Yeah,
one.
I don't get the. I don't understand.
It's California. Who knows?
Those guys are weird.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This was a random task episode because we were all over the place, but we kept it pretty fun. So, episode 200, the Fappenings.
200.
fappening.
Leave your
Is that
card
what you just said?
at the door. You can win yourself tickets to the fucking Fleetwood Mac concert this evening at the Blossom Music Center. Sorry, I heard some radio announcer on the way home.
Good day.
Cleveland. It was just like, Dude. How is that still exist?
WMMS.
How do people still say that shit? Cleveland's classic music.
Cleveland's music. Old people.
100.7.
All right, guys.
WMM.
Rogue Squadron Podcast, you know what it is. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a crazy ride. We want to announce this is the last and final episode of all time because we don't like anybody.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Oh, yes.
Do you have it? No, you don't. Ayo, ayo.
I have to pee so bad.
Spider-Man.
Okay. Do we need paper towels?
Yeah.
It's probably, I mean, I gotta kind of.
Let it soak in.
Is it a lot?
It was half full, and now it's a quarter full.
All right.
Ayo, ayo. Happening.
Spitter bat.